Hey, DOT community, this is Alon coming at you with a Saturday Night Worlds Collide live stream. Thank you for joining. Everybody rewatching the live stream after the fact, because I know I didn't do my normal Friday night live stream, but yeah, I did figure that D wasn't going to live stream tonight, so here I am. So the event, of course, is going along great. I didn't get too much grinding done since the last time I streamed, as any of you that may follow all the way to the end of the previous live stream. But it's okay, because I do have off work tomorrow. I'm going to be able to grind a bunch tonight with all of you, and then, of course, we'll see how far I get. And if it only takes me, maybe, if I see some decent rewards that are not too far away, maybe I'll use one or two of the relics that I got in this event on it. So we'll see. But DOT community, I am most definitely excited for Monday's Conquest. So, and why? Well, it's going to be on for a few days, but pretty much it's looking like that it's going to rain on Monday, and I'm not going to have to do anything but play Conquest all day. And if one Portal Stone raids continue, which I believe they will, DOT community, I believe they will. And if they do, it's going to be awesome. So I hope you're excited as well. Conquest is the best for leveling up your relics, leveling up your titans. Dab City, what's up, Brian McAndrew? Extinction, good to see you. Sean M. Dead Nixon. Thank you all for coming in so quickly. All right. And of course, we're still all unlocked. I have no idea why this is still a bug in the game. I feel like it's something they could probably fix from home, but I don't know. But Baba Yaga needs more levels. Only 38. Needs more levels. Let's go. Let's get to the grind. Portal Stones. I just topped out again at 30 because I was playing for a little bit before I started streaming. There we go. Found some Ponglands. I hit the bell. That's how I got here. I get here so fast. That's right. That's right, Brian. Gotta make sure you hit that bell. If you don't, and then you're like, I don't get the notifications. Or if you do hit the bell and you still don't get the notifications, and there's something wrong with your bell. Maybe you gotta hit it a few more times. Yes. So with the next 2 days looking like I'm gonna have a lot of free time, it's gonna be pretty awesome to try to get as much as I can out of this event, and also start the Conquest event and enjoy the crap out of that. So it's gonna be some action-packed days. Monday I will, as long as everything goes to plan, and it is a rain day, I will most definitely stream for the first day of the Conquest during the midweek as a continuation as well. This is a continuation, of course, of Zalon's Stay Home series. Listen to Kobar, wash your hands. So, yes, and that would also be a continuation as well, especially for Conquest, because I think this will be one of the most active conquests ever, as long as the One Portal Stone battles continue this next week. If they do, then yeah, it will probably be the most active conquest ever. You got no soap? Oh, man, Crisis City. Crisis City, no soap. That's no good. What's up, Tag Her? Thank you for coming. What's up, Churro? Oh yeah, and I waited to do this because I like to do it right at the beginning, and that is cheers, DOT community. So glad to be streaming here on a Saturday night. I'm assuming the majority of you are home. Because during the, when things are a little bit more normal, people are watching me at work too as well. Cheers, Churro. Using shampoo to wash your hands? Oh, man. So, that's a Sweetwater Hop Hash Easy IPA. Green can. Good stuff. You can drink concession IPAs when I'm live streaming. Things don't get too out of hand. Although you never know. Second, third hour. Always the best. I wonder why. Because there's other people here on Discord. Usually by then. That's why when people live stream for less than an hour, I don't think it really gives everybody enough time and opportunity to... Oh, I'm soldiering it up. It doesn't give you the opportunity to get in and be able to create an audience and bring in some people to Discord and have a chit-chat. This has been Soldier. Alright. Saturday night. Monday morning for the Kiwis. No, it's not that late. Let's see if Feranic joins, though. Hope everybody is feeling good. Not at home sick. I hope everybody's also feeling sane. The only reason I say that is because I'm sure if you're not used to being at home, possibly attempting to work while your significant other and kids are all around as well, it may be pretty frustrating. Do your best, DOT community. Get some grind on. Enjoy the mobile games when you can. Because, I'll tell you, a lot of us out here all dealing with some sort of backlash or effect of what's going on right now, so... Enjoy the community. Enjoy the game. If you're interested in the event, glad. It gives you something to grind for and achieve over the weekend. If not, then maybe you're saving up for a future event. Because, there is a new God Titan. It's going to be the new... we don't know exactly what type of gods are going to be, because we've had Egyptian gods, Norse gods, and Greek gods, but a few ideas have been passed around. Soul merch t-shirts with hashtag opportunity. That's right, Cheryl. Now, these soul merch t-shirts with hashtag opportunity give you the opportunity to be able to support Soldier's channel, and also let everybody know hashtag opportunity. You think you're the cause of the toilet paper? You're the cause of the toilet paper shortage? You're pooping too much? Oh, poor Brain. Thank you for joining, Brain. Pretty soon he thinks that Brain thinks that the Trump's going to impose a 2 poop limit per day. Wow. What do you, so Brain's going to have to, he's just going to have to hold it in. It's not healthy. So guys, maybe not so much. You have to cut back on the tacos, Brain? Maybe? Back on the tacos, though. I'm sure you're getting some of your favorite tacos delivered instead of going to get them. You have to lay off. Gonna have to start recycling toilet paper? Oh gosh. Just go get some baby wipe spray and you'll be alright. So how far is everybody in the event? Have you finished? Or are you just grinding for tokens? Let's buy some diapers, says Extinction. That's pretty good. There you go. Brain chilling with a big fat adult diaper on. You have to wear pants that are like a few sizes bigger than your normal. Sean says 17,862, finishing the event with no relics. I think this is going to be, this event and the last event have had immense participation. Immense. Unfortunately, well, I should say fortunately, because it does seem like it is possible that we may see the new god that drops next weekend, I should say. That one Portal Stones will be available hopefully during that as well. And if that's the case, that'll be real nice. This means a real high soul count for that event. Hopefully the skills will be cool. Diapers are the Velcro shoes of the underwear world. Just like the old days, go outside and then use tree leaves, Extinction says. Jeez. I thought we were going to say to go outside and use the hose. Oh, Brain. Would you choose Loki or Thor? For use, not collecting or something like that, but for use, Loki over Thor. But that's also because my account tends to get more Infiltrator 5 stars. If you have no Infiltrator 5 stars, excuse me, sorry. I'm going to try to keep that at a minimum. I should not be yawning. I'm going to do my best. If you do have a Champion 5 star and no Infiltrator 5 star, let the 5 star force you in the direction, I guess I can say too. But also Marcato, what castle level are you? That's another major factor as well. Because Loki and Thor pretty much their skills buff them, not so much troops. So, are you trying to use these Titans? Or is this just the choice question? I'd go Loki over Thor. But if you said you had a 5-star champion relic and no 5-star infiltrator relic, well then maybe Thor's a better choice for you. These are scary times, my friends. I can't cut the cheese without risking an accident. Oh, jeez. Oh, brain. Remember, GOT community. Brain is just testing all these jokes to see if they're liked or not. And then he will go do a stand-up show that has a whole bunch of poop jokes. And he has us to thank for screening all of them for him. You're welcome, Brain. I wait till it... This ain't a joke, this is real life. Oh, Brain. I don't know. You think this is a game? Well, I'm playing a game. But I guess Brain's poop jokes go way farther than just the game. I'll wait till it dries and scratch it off with my fingernail. Oh. What's up, BMT? Times are hard, bro. That's right, Dave Nixon. If soda has coronavirus, but the soda is flat, can you still catch it? Probably, Brain. I don't think that matters. If the Brain's comments in YouTube have coronavirus, will people still read them? Depends on how fast you run. That's a pretty good answer, Jim. I like that. Or you could use the method that dogs use when scooting across the carpet. Oh, good gosh. Don't have light-colored carpets. So, is that what you're doing, Extinction? Extinction, your toilet paper hoarder? Jim does that for fun. Nice, Jim. Thanks for letting everybody know. Baba Yaga is pleased. Alright. Sending out a few messages in band. Just letting people know. Sorry. Copying and pasting stuff. There we go. We're all set. There we go. Oh, it's Fury. Hope everybody's doing alright. Let's see. Hey, Funjeza. Hey, Zalon. Hope you all stay in good health. Thank you. Really appreciate that. This could be the Zalon poop show. Gosh, extinction. BRB, says Churro. Alright. If butts had noses, would you poop or blow your nose at the same time? The questions you come up with, brain. Insane. You thought I fell asleep, Extinction? No, I was just messing around. See, when I do have other people on Discord, what happens is I can do all that stuff where I don't say anything for a long period of time, but nobody notices anything because I'm letting other people talk. But you know, it's no problem. We can solo stream it tonight, or we can also, you never know, some people may show up at some point. See what happens. I'm good either way, because I'm definitely going to be raiding and raiding and raiding. Oh, gosh, I love these one portal stones. People are saying, too, if you only can get triple battle drops with one portal stone. And I mean, if it, again, continues into Monday for Conquest, it'll feel like Christmas. How far am I going to go in this event? Well, I was hoping to go all the way, but ended up working today, so and yesterday too. So thinking that if anything, I can get up to. Let's take a look. What's Cormac? 5,500 at least. And then would be real nice. What I really want in this event is Spearhead. If I can get just the Spearhead, that's fine. Still consider that a major win. But man, finishing for Minotaur Skull would be awesome. But time constraints may be making it a lot harder to accomplish that goal. But definitely have some specific spots that I wouldn't mind getting past. Should be like 5,500 or getting up there to get another Spearhead. Because we're ranked under top 100, and right now there's currently a poll in Band for all NTG Dragons players to decide whether we want to stay in top 100 or drop souls before the event ends. Basically making it so we fall back in that 101 to 120 range for 4K gems. We'll see what happens, because it looks like everybody wants to push and stay in top 100. So oh crap, I could hit that one. I do want to check the portal stones real quick. Probably gonna use 2 days and 16 hours. What is that? I can use that during Conquest if I want, instead of using it during this event. I could, right? Because it's what, Saturday at 9:30 p.m. So 2 days, Sunday, Monday, into Tuesday for a little while. So yeah, might end up just doing that, keeping it for Monday. But the 50, we might use the 50 tonight on the stream. Is having 2 Minotaurs worth it? Depends on if you really would like to have either an attack and a defending one, but for the most part, the people just attack with them until they get up to 60 and then just let them guard like an island, or guard the garrison, depending on how strong the rest of your troops are as well. Alright. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Just had to run. Take out my contacts because they were just getting so dry. I couldn't even read the chat. So as soon as I get my glasses on, everything is better. Alright. I might get to the 16K thanks to the 1 Portal Stones. You're right, Mark Cato? It's really helping everybody out. But it's also making it so that you really end up wanting to play the game a lot more. It makes me want to play the game a lot more. I do have to say, if I had the time to play the game a little bit more, it would have, between yesterday and today, would have helped out a lot more. But it's okay. It's okay. We're going to make up for it tonight, and we're going to make up for it especially tomorrow. Because over this last week and a half, all the preparations of just being able to say, I don't need anything, I have everything I need, and if I leave the house again after tomorrow, it'll just be to go to work. So, we'll see what happens. So, I'm feeling good about that. And I hope you are too. Why do they call a relic Minotaur's armor when it only gives health? Extinction, it's like a brain question, but very much geared towards the game. What's everyone hoping for with new changes to the DG altar? Says fun. Well, I'm hoping for separated, guaranteed 5-star altars, with the new ones being at 5K, the second generation ones being at 4K, and the first generation ones being 3,500 for a guarantee. Now, you don't still know which one you're going to get out of all 6 of them, but, you still have I would say, a better chance with them being separated, because it's a 1 in 6 chance that you're going to get one that you really want, or maybe multiple other ones that you may want as well. You may have a few of each category that you want between the different generations of 5 stars. Because, and again, if you're new to the channel or haven't heard me talk about the 5 stars before, I just categorize them in 3 different categories of the first, second, and third generations. Third generation have not been released yet. They hopefully will be released with these DG altar changes at the same time. Or maybe they'll do 2 at a time and do a bit of a rollout like they've done in the past. But we'll see. Maybe they'll just throw them all at once. And no 3 stars in the 500 DG altar. I agree on that. Now, the thing is, though, the 500 DG altar, they may change that up as well and make it so that, it's 5 stars and only end-of-event relics, like usually the stretch reward relics. If they do that, along with and I'm not talking about, God relics and stuff like that, because sometimes, some of them are closer to the end, but it seems like ones that are buffing Omegas and stuff like that, people can get a bunch of lame ones. But if we throw out the 3 stars, create a 5-star XP relic, because they have a 5-star relic, a relic XP, relic XP, yeah. So I think if they have a choose your 5-star relic, it would be 7K DG. Wow, that's a good idea. Chance, love you, bro. Grind on. On these cheap matches. Oh, cool, Chance. Thank you for joining. Okay. Yeah, Sunday afternoon stream. What's going on, Frantic? Just for you. The only one that experiences a Sunday afternoon stream. Well, the few, I should say. The few that might have the opportunity to watch my streams in the afternoon. And if you have Baba Yaga, what level is your Baba Yaga at? For the people rewatching the stream after the fact, feel free to post in the comments how far you're attempting to go in the event, and or what level is your Baba Yaga. How about that? Oops. Just finished collecting stuff from work so that I can work from home. Nice, Ferranic. Nice. $23K souls, very nice extinction. You and JJ convinced me I needed to finish this one for the skull. So all the way, says Tyler P. Agreed. Ooh, we locked up. Hello. Oop. Yeah, we know. Close yourself. Has anybody else been getting booted out of the game? Extinction is slacking, says Ferranic. Chance mine's at 52. Put max void relics on her from other titans. Very nice, Chance. After I finish, I just grind. Nice extinction. Well, that's the way to be, especially on an event like this. There's absolutely no reason to be putting down super amounts of souls after you finish, because what's the point of that? I'd save your resources up for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. What's up, Val? Thank you for joining. See what we can find. You excited for Monday Extinction? I would be too if I were you. What's going on, Ice?
What up, man? How's the weekend been?
Well, I was working today. I worked yesterday. But I had off on Thursday, as you know, because we had that stream. So, and I'm excited for Monday, and I'll be off tomorrow. So.
Now, I have not seen the updates. I've been swamped. So what's Monday's event?
Is Conquest.
On Monday? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
awesome.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I'm assuming the portal stones are going to be one portal stone again.
If they're one, I mean, that's incredible.
If they are one, it's going to be incredible. And I think it's going to be a very heavily played event, just like this event and the previous event. There's probably, what do you want to say, triple the amount of battles that are played in a normal event.
Oh, totally. I mean, the fact that it's been one portal stone, I mean, that just changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Conquest Churtabog?
Yes. with his
And did they is he reskilled?
He is reskilled. You need to watch my the blog post last live stream I did, because I talk about all this. No, it's okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. You know, no big deal. Just a national emergency's at our hands.
Just a national emergency. Oh, okay. Say it.
It has been a busy time, but time will tell.
Time will tell. So yeah, just to cheer up Godin, somebody needs to make a video that's just like, Godin has been slowing down on videos, but
Homeboy sounded tired on his last video.
Wow.
I felt so bad for him, man.
Yeah. I feel bad for him as well, because we know that he's like, well, my job is essential. Apparently, my job's essential too. I just saw a forum that says that apparently landscapers are still considered essential.
Oh, so you guys don't have to stop work then?
Not right now, not yet. If anything.
Hey, man, take it while you got it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the season to be stopping work if you got it, for sure.
So.
Now, has anybody you know been affected by COVID-19 in regards to
not being
contracting the virus?
actually sick? No, not that I know.
Okay.
Of. Nobody said anything. But I also don't know. I know that none of the people that I know have actually gotten a test either. So there's that as well. So I'm not saying that maybe someone I do know does have it. They just don't know it either. You know.
We were. This is gonna sound odd. This is a. This might get some hot chatter in your stream here by our toilet paper friend, but we were delivering groceries to the elderly.
Okay.
The other day, and we had a shipment of 500 rolls of toilet paper come in.
Mm.
So we were giving them to families, and I did come in contact with someone at their door that had COVID-19.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
So
what
did they come? Did they just come out and say it to you, or what? How did that conversation go?
Yes, they opened the door. Luckily, I didn't touch anything. I was outside of the residence, and they let us know, and they requested that we drop off what we had. But yeah, and they weren't old. They were young. They were probably in their early 30s. And
you don't think they were just goofing around? Just saying.
No, they know our organization. Yeah, no, it wasn't one of those.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
good.
I've seen them before.
All right.
Yeah, so that was the first real wake up call, because they were young, they weren't old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was the first real exposure of the reality of it.
No real difference to me. I'm more time constrained rather than portal stones. Really, Frantic says he can't even get through the portal stones in one sitting anymore. So.
And what does Frantic do?
Frantic? What is his Frantic's job? I don't know.
Oh, is that what is he working an essential job? Is that what he shared?
No, he was just talking about when he goes to play the game, he can't get through the portal stones all in the time that he has to play.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just real quick side note. I had this little bit of tinfoil here next to me, and I kind of like pinched it to the point where it kind of looks like Minotaur skull. That's kind of nuts. I was just goofing around with it, to be honest, while we were talking.
Put that on your wall, man. You got a little Minotaur trophy.
It looks
right
it looks kind of like Minotaur skull, just the shape of it, not like. Because it's just...
could be Dee's birthday present.
It's just aluminum.
Belated.
It's just aluminum foil. Now, Dee's birthday present was my live stream. That basically people would just all of a sudden go wild and crazy to And also I did sing to her. I sang to her as well. As is tradition.
Well done, Zalin.
Yeah, Zalin.
Zalin is AP.
Yeah, Zalin is AP, yeah. So only the hardcore fans will even know that even existed.
I know, man. That's going to be an old school poll now. Zalin is AP. So I'm sorry to bother you, but what are the Chernobog skills? I may not have time to rewatch your stream.
Oh my gosh. All right, hold on. Hold on. Jeez, I gotta go to Twitter.
I know you've been asked far more laborious questions in the past, other than what a new reskilled Titan is. So I'm sure you can handle it.
I know. Here we go.
Thank you, Zalan. It's a service to the community.
Jeez.
Thank you for your service.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Chernobog. Let's see. So wait, what do you want to know? You want to know his new skills?
I just want to know his skills. Yeah, what's his skills?
All right, Imperial Health X with 30% Imperial melee resist, and then Imperial Void and Lightning resist 3.
Okay.
Which means there's only if you can get one relic that's got both resists on it, you can probably max those 2 out right away.
Yeah.
Imperial Armor X and 40% Imperial Range Resist. So melee and range resist are already 30 and 40% by the time you get the Titan to 31. So, and then Titan Health X, Storm Maiden Damage X for the 4th skill, and then the 5th one, Titan Armor X, Storm Maiden Armor Piercing.
Is this Helga's just skills? Is that what they are?
Are they Helga's skills? Well,
are those Helga's skills?
I gotta go check that out.
Because didn't she? I think she buffed Storm Maidens, didn't she? Wow, there you go.
Yeah, are you looking at that?
Another Helga.
Yep.
I'm assuming you will be going to completion for the old Cherno.
Well, yeah, I kind of have to. It's one of those things.
Because you're a collector, obviously.
Because I'm a collector, but the thing is, though, it's a conquest, and conquests equal time, and that's it. Never does conquest actually equal, like, serious, you have to put money into it or anything like that, so...
Yeah. This will be the best one of all time. Especially if it's one Portal Stone in regards to...
history in the making.
History in the making, yes! You should coin the phrase. Perfect. I don't think I've ever heard it before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, poor Godan. Poor Godan.
Dude, I think his music matched his voice and his tone.
Well, his music's always the same. You know his background music's always...
I know, but you know how it has that melancholy feel to it? And then his mood matched the feel. I was kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
Felt for it.
Quick smash and grab on Ice's truck. You're Rockstar, Ice, for the support you provide. Yes, I agree. Ice is a rockstar, Churro.
Well, thank you. Who was this that commented?
That was Churro.
Churro, you're the homie, man. Shout out, Churro.
Shout out.
And shout out Polo 2007. Is that his name? He's been messaging quite a bit on how he's grateful that you've been streaming earlier, Zalan, as he is in the UK.
Wait, did I miss something?
No, that was a message in game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a frequent listener of your re-streams.
Yes.
And then he's been able to catch a couple live ones recently.
Yes, Polo was in the stream the other night, which was nice. Yeah. Because of the virus, I'm on 12-hour shifts. Extinction, you have so much time to play.
Oh, man, Extinction's going to break the game. He's going to have all max Titans, all maxed relics. Now, I'm assuming then, Zalan, next week will be the new event? Did they share that in the blog?
Yeah. It goes like this.
Oh.
It goes Conquest.
This is going to be a week of DMT. My goodness.
It's going to go Conquest Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it's going to go immediately afterwards the new God Titan starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be crazy.
Wow.
I told you I was going to stop yawning. I try to stop that one.
But this isn't going to be the new team event, is it? This is just a regular event? that's going to take place that weekend?
For that weekend, I think so. I don't. It said
Okay.
a lot. Do I still have it up? I might have it up. Hold on.
Sorry, Zwan. I know it's a huge nuisance. I do apologize.
No, I have multiple screens here. If you only,
Labor to the community.
if I only could have someone take my picture while I was live streaming, and people would be like, "Really, Salon? That's what you do?"
I think one day, man. One day you got to do the live in-home cam of your operation.
Let's see. We'll see. Frank says affects all, not just the old. They are more likely, to have a problem. What's up, Daniel? Thank you for joining. So you were asking, New Gods is 26th through the 30th, and
Okay.
what were you asking about that event?
Did they release when the new event is going to take place?
No,
Your pre-prediction event?
no, they said within the next month, but the way they actually state that, they say it's an Alliance leaderboard event with New Gods. So I would assume that means exactly what that means, you know.
Gotcha.
All right.
How many are currently watching?
We got 13. It's a low crowd tonight. I'm not used.
Well, you weren't coming up in my thread. I think there was something with the notifications tonight.
Possible.
I actually had to search your name because I saw you in Discord, but I wanted to make sure you were on first.
No, well, I posted in band already.
Okay.
Could also be a very heavy volume night, so.
True. Now, did your store happen to get any new bread or sandwich materials for you?
I haven't gone back to check, so.
Are you still low on supplies? Do we need some groceries sent, my friend?
It's a grocery set. The only thing I could probably use is bread, but we'll see what happens. I might pop over there tomorrow and get another case of beer and some bread, just to be precautious.
Bread and beer, absolutely essential, obviously.
Obviously, we don't care about the gut.
We actually made quite a bit of homemade bread this week because our store was out as well.
Becoming very popular, or if you have a bread machine, is that what you're referring to, or are you talking about doing like...
No, I mix it in the bread machine, but we bake it separately from that. Because have you ever baked in a bread machine? They are the weirdest loaves of all time.
Oh yeah?
Have you ever done it before?
No. And does it not make for good cutting when they're all weird shaped?
Terrible cutting. It's like a large cylinder bread shape. So you just use the dough cycle, let it rise in there, pull it out, put it in the pan, let it double rise, and then it's perfect. But normally we don't have time to do it, and now we did. So my kids are loving it.
Well, cool. Tox was trying to stream earlier, but he must have had technical issues. Oh, that sucks. Extinction would have been nice to see a Tox stream. He's trying to do it for the Brits.
Tox is great.
Most definitely.
You'll Tox.
So, but thanks for...
Oh, we got Feranic on.
Yeah. Oh, on here too?
He just hopped on Discord.
Oh, nice.
But he's muted.
It's okay. Ferranic's probably just listening.
Yes, I am.
See?
He's in the garden.
He might be in the garden.
You in that garden?
No, but you guys are in the waiting room.
Yeah, oh, well, that's true. We are in the waiting room.
We are in the waiting room.
Yeah, we're always in the waiting room because I don't like...
How's your family doing, Feranic? Have you guys been staying safe?
Yeah, we're fine. Starting working from home on Monday.
Okay. Sheltering in
And how's the transition?
Not too bad. Kids are still in school.
Really? Interesting. But that's also because there's not that many cases there. Is that the case?
We're now at 66.
Okay. So.
Have they
66
given
cases, no death.
Have they given you any warning as if your kids will be taken out of school?
Not yet. They're going to try and keep them in until there's a known community spread, and then they might try and restrict it. They gave us lots of good information, though. They seem to be quite up to speed with everything and a bit ahead of the curve and following the WHO's recommendations.
Yeah.
Okay,
And which countries not to follow? Hashtag Italy. Unfortunately, I feel
Oh my gosh!
real
it's
bad.
absolutely tragic.
I feel
Don't follow Italy, don't follow the UK, and probably don't follow you guys, actually.
Yeah.
Although you're doing better now.
No, I've heard we've done pretty well so far. I have some friends at the CDC. Based off of what we're observing, I mean, Iran is really the one we're going to be hearing about the worst in the next few days. It's completely collapsed.
Until it hits Africa. Once it hits Africa. Or Haiti.
So there's a lot of different things going on out there. We'll see. I'm hoping that we top out on the with the whole curve situation. I hope we top out in the next week, because I really would like to start seeing things on the downgrade, but we'll see how long it takes for that to actually happen.
Well, it's going to be waves.
Yeah.
It's not going to be one curve and then down. It's going to be up, down, up, down, up, down. It's just making sure the peaks stay below what the hospitals can handle.
Yeah. So
Look at you, Frantic. You are on top of it. This is exactly what I got exposed to.
Yeah, I've seen, basically been following BBC World, Al Jazeera, and a few other news outlets, New Zealand ones, and just pretty much keeping up to speed for a few hours each day for the last
most definitely.
weeks.
Well,
3-4 weeks.
I'm not implying when I say peaking, I mean as in like we hit a top and then ever after that we're always going to be on the down side. Not saying that we should be peaking again, because you shouldn't have cases that go way above where you already went really high before. But yes, I would hope that things
might
get
be.
under control.
It depends how long you have lockdowns for.
Well, it also
So from what I heard,
it depends on how
most
things get spread though too as well, because if things spread into states where there's the population size is incredibly smaller than a lot of the other bigger states, it really depends on how everything gets contained in some of these states. So, and how everything goes. So, because I talked to my parents in northern Pennsylvania. Again, it's 2 hours away from where I am, and it seems like things aren't that bad there. They're not panicking as much. This is only 2 hours north, although it is 2 hours west of New York City. So when it comes down to the way people are reacting in a whole bunch of different areas is strictly based on how many cases are really in your general vicinity. So
interesting.
That's just the way
Isn't New York got about a third of the cases though in America? New York.
2 hours west of New York, it's the mountains and the Appalachians, and a lot of those towns and everything else, there doesn't seem to be as much of a panicky craze. Yes, is there no toilet paper? Yes. Is there no bread? Yes. But is everything else still there?
Fine. We make toilet paper.
Yeah. Oh,
we
well,
export
that's good. That's good.
In New Zealand, so.
You know.
Do you really?
Yeah. So we're not really too much of a problem on the food front.
Because the thing is, when I say that, there's 6 hours between the west and the east side of just Pennsylvania. If you say, land size and stuff like that in a lot of these other countries are way smaller. And when it comes down to locking things down to certain regions, it just depends on how much things spread out of those more hotspot regions.
Yeah.
Because if you have an island, that's only the size of, 2 or 3 states in the middle of the U.S., yeah, you're gonna have a harder time keeping people from traveling from one side to the other. But
It does depend on, though, how long you're going to keep restrictions or lockdowns in place. Because as soon as you remove them, you're starting introducing the possibility of other people coming around, especially if peaks are happening at different times in different countries.
That's true as well.
So-
Very true as well. So it does stink because certain restrictions on countries that got it way earlier than others are going to be there for a very long time. So anything that comes from those countries specifically will have a bigger impact than countries that may be getting things well after the U.S. and we're not restricting things from those countries up until no
It'll
cases.
take at least a month.
So yeah, the that's the crazy ripple effect that people will be experiencing for quite some time.
True. Well, gentlemen, Zalan, great hearing your voice on stream. I'll hopefully be able to rejoin if you're streaming later. I have to go in for time with the fam.
Nice. Well, enjoy some
stay
time
safe,
with the
everybody.
family.
Wanted to grab you before you finished, and I'm assuming you're going to be streaming for Conquest.
Oh yeah. Well, I was gonna stream on Monday because it really looks like there's gonna be a rainstorm, so it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Awesome. All right, Brandon, great hearing your voice as well, man. Stay safe. Zalan?
No worries.
Take care, bro.
See ya.
Of course. Have a good one. The Shark said, I heard a rumor that Pennsylvania has a new curfew to help prevent the spread. Is that true or no? Pennsylvania has... There was a Jersey curfew that I heard that was going on where they were telling people to be inside by 8 p.m. and, between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. But just to help not spread things and to get more people off the streets. So yeah, it's something I heard over in about Jersey, but not something I heard about Pennsylvania yet. Just because, just hasn't been stated yet. More or less, it was just about closing down a lot of different industries, a lot of places. Driving around during the daytime, it's pretty much ghost towns most places, except for people walking their dogs. There are people walking their dogs everywhere, and the looks on their faces are that if they would have stayed in their houses much longer, they would have gone crazy. So that is definitely something that's going on everywhere. There's people going outside, walking the block, walking around the neighborhood, and then just going back. But they're just, every neighborhood you go into, there's people doing that. Because it was actually a really nice day today. It was really, it got to like 65, 68 degrees here. So that's actually one of the warmest days we've seen in a while. Well, Pisces Shark, when it comes down to you wouldn't listen to a curfew? Well, I mean, typically you would want to... after 8 p.m., not really anything is going on outside of your house anyway at this point with all the businesses that are closed. So I think it's just to keep younger people from just, roaming around.
Yeah, don't be a spring breaker.
Yeah, that's something else that's kind of nuts too as well. Is the fact that there's a lot of people that are trying to enjoy this time because it was already planned, and now that this is going on, they still want to continue with their plans. And so many other people, of course, have made the right decision to stay home instead. But plenty of others have decided to just, continue and do whatever they want. Unfortunately to say, some of them will probably end up either stuck where they are because they're not going to be able to find a way home, unfortunately, or they could possibly get sick themselves, and that would just be, some would say, serves them right for putting themselves in danger, but it's just not good in general. Not in a city, so I'm kind of in a quiet woods area. Well, that's good. I mean, there's going to be a lot less of a chance that you're going to see mass hysteria. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, more and more crime. That's something that's definitely going on in Philadelphia, and I'm sure in New York City as well, because police are more preoccupied with dealing with a lot of other things. I came up with the three things that the police are occupied with right now. Unfortunately, again, this is not, you know, it's just crazy that it's summed up in just this simply. But domestics is people are at home with their significant other, and things are just, you know, they just get out of control because people are going stir crazy. Or another very sad part of something crisis like this, dealing with people in suicide, and then all the fights that break out at shopping centers over certain things. I'm not saying that is the most common out of every call, but they're happening more often than not, just because people are getting kind of ridiculous with whatever certain supplies that are getting definitely shopped up by people that have a lot more income, and the week-to-week people don't have access to it, basically. So, yeah, definitely have to say more calls have definitely come in over very goofy and stupid circumstances when they should be out actually protecting businesses from getting looted or robbed, or from people just, you know, more or less not abiding by the rules and creating havoc. I wanted to continue with my plans. Did you, Setharoth? The mass buying thing is ridiculous because I went to 2 stores and almost all the shelves were empty. Yeah, it's the fairly well off, the rich, and in some areas like the suburbs, the middle class, which actually is in the more or less populated areas, the middle class is considered the rich. So, but like in the suburbs, the middle class just so happens to just go and buy everything out of the stores, and then everybody else, unfortunately, has to deal with what's left. Unfortunately. Where's De-Extinction? Good question. I don't know. I messaged her before I went live and let her know that I was going to be live streaming tonight, and just curious.
Surely she's got a hangover.
She did say that that was last night, though. That was her excuse last night for streaming. She said she was hungover from Thursday. So.
She must be streaming soon, isn't she? Is she going to stream today or Conquest?
Well, maybe for Conquest. I don't know. When it comes down to D, she goes a few weeks in between, it seems like now. So. Anyway, I'm going to rob a bank with a note that says, "Give me the money or I'll cough on you." Wow, Setharoth. You know, it's crazy, though.
Go on. Hey, how are you, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Chance. How are we doing?
Good. Good to hear from you.
Awesome. Turns out that my one buddy said that he went to a few different stores, and unfortunately to say, stores are now placing signs. This is out in Colorado. Stores are placing signs where they're not allowing anybody to come into stores with masks on, because stores are getting robbed by people with masks on. So it's just becoming a thing now that it's just not even allowed in any retail stores at all. Even though people are saying they're trying to be cautious and do something like that, others are taking advantage of it, and obviously it just makes it so that some people may say, "Oh, you know, I'm trying to do the right thing and wear a mask," but at the same time, you're probably wearing a mask because you're trying to not spread something that maybe you should be home for and not be out at all. But if you have to, unfortunately, it seems like some people are ruining it for others.
Well, from my understanding, those masks are just to prevent, sickness from spreading. It's not like those masks actually make it so that you don't get a disease.
Correct. It's just a simple fact. And again, this is just a thing where, for instance, everybody knows somebody, whether you're a person that feels like it's necessary to wear a mask out in public, everybody knows at least one person out there that they know they're going to be somebody that goes out there like that. And if they know that their store that they normally go to is telling them that they can't wear a mask inside the store, well, that person is not going to go into that store then. And now their life is now impacted that, oh man, I can't go into the few stores that I go into all the time because all of them say I can't wear a mask. And I'm one of those people that has to do this. So,
It'll be interesting to see if it changes the same way, because in a lot of the Asian countries, wearing a mask if you're ill yourself has been part of the culture for years and years and years. But it's never really cottoned on anywhere else in the West. I wonder if this will change things.
I hope not.
Happy NTG Dragons will be getting a token for either Anubis or Minotaur since we are already there. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're in top 100 right now, and we did not come into this event with any kind of intentions more than just being 101 to 250 for the usual 4K gem reward, and just due to players being overly active, or at least had the ability to accomplish way more in the event than they normally would, so they decided, you know what, this is the time to do it. So, it's good. Doing a lot better than expected.
So, Zalon, I was actually a Mormon missionary in Taiwan. It's an island off the coast of China from 03 to 06. And this was just after SARS. And it's not that they just wear masks. It's like ball caps. Like, they're kind of like stylish and cool and, black ninja masks. And so it's not that just everybody wears them. It's trendy.
Oh, well, interesting. Okay, well, if that's the case.
Yeah, because most people are like, oh, it's like the medical masks. But, like, really, like, if you're China, Japan, Taiwan, it's like, oh, I'm so cool. Well, because it's like the Cubs,
Oh, so it's also similar to the whole gotcha machine idea, because I, of course, never traveled to any of those countries, but many people say that these, all the mobile games out there, some of them will refer to a temple or an altar like they do in Dawn of Titans to actually they call it gotchas. Now, the developers of Dawn of Titans have referred to those altars as gotcha altars only because that's an internal thing that they refer to them as. Oh. But some mobile game companies refer to them as gotcha altars, like right in the game. Like when I hit the button here and it shows all these altars, they would actually say, character gotcha and relic gotcha, and literally over in those countries, and you've obviously experienced it as well. Just like how we have a lot of grocery stores, at least traditional grocery stores here in the U.S., have bubble machines. And what I'm referring to is when you get close to the exit of the store, a lot of times after you're done checking out, you put in a quarter or 50 cents, or nowadays maybe 4 quarters. Gosh, it gets expensive, but whatever. And you twist it, and the little bubble will come out, and you pop it open. And a lot of times for like my daughter's case, there would be like jewelry or a little character of some sort, or who knows what, And I enjoyed them as well. But when I grew up, I never knew them as gotcha machines. I never knew that term. But over in the Asian countries, they have rows and rows and rows of these things in all sorts of different stores and places all over the place. And again, did not know much about this at all until I heard the developers on one of the Skype calls I had with the developers refer to the altars as gotcha altars. And I was like, what are they talking about? And I researched it a little bit, and when I searched the term, it showed up with a lot of these Asian gacha machines where, and you know, throw in a, I don't know, whatever denomination it is over there, but it's a very popular thing, and it's not just popular with kids either, which is another thing that I thought was a little odd, because you won't see many adults get done their grocery shopping and go over and, you know, use the bubble machine, you know, and get some candy or something like that. Like, it's not common.
Yeah.
But over in the Asian countries, it's very common of many people of many different ages to participate in these gotchas. And it just means that,
Maybe that's what.
and they usually have some sort of label on the front that lets a lot of them, when they're collectible gotchas, haha, just like Dawn of Titans, they will have a listing or pictures of all the different options of what is actually in there to let you know, oh yeah, you could get some of these things, and we'll see what you get, kind of thing. So, I don't know. I always thought that was interesting.
Maybe that's why we get rubbish from the altars all the time.
Right? Well, see, when I was younger, the little bubble machines, I always thought it was cool. They had homies. That was their little characters that are wearing all sorts of, like, you call, like, maybe, like, I think it was developed from a guy out in L.A., and he was like wore a lot of just, I guess, like a little bit more of like the baggier clothes. This was like more of like I guess more like a 2000s or late 90s kind of thing. And they had all sorts of different characters and stuff like that. And it was a collectibles thing. Besides from that, they also had all sorts of other things like one of my favorites is, again, this is like early 90s. They had all sorts of little guns, plastic of course, but there was always the gold gun. Just like 007, and it was literally gold plated and everything else. And they showed you all the different ones, all the different versions of all the things you can get in there. And they had that one gold gun, the 007 version, that was right in the middle. And you always would be like, oh, it's got to be in there. I'm gonna get it, but I never got it. Never got it. And it was
Zalon, how old are you?
I'm 35. So.
Okay. All right.
So this all happened in like early 90s when I'd go to the grocery store with my parents. So, but yeah, I always thought, you know, when they show you all the things that you could get in there, you're always hopeful that you're getting one of those few things. But all of the things that are in that machine are all the plastic ones, and they're all the super cheap. But you could see them in there. They're in there because all the bubbles in the bubble machines would always be clear. They rarely would ever be totally, like you couldn't see in them.
Have you seen the the Facebook videos and the Twitter videos of like how to conquest the bubble machines, like picking the right ones out and how to make it work? Are
you talking about like the machine, the grabber machines where you look in there and the claw comes down?
Yeah, I know you're right. I know you're talking about put a quarter in and drop a bubble out. But have you seen like the masters who've like perfected the claw machine thing?
Oh, okay, yeah, the claw machine. Yes, so that's what I thought you were referring to. Yes, I haven't watched. I've seen a few videos of people that like all their channel is about is basically them playing a lot of different carnival type games, and claw machines tend to be a lot of what some of their content is as well, because they'd like to do claw machines a lot of times, and those other machines, those key machines, where what is it like, where there's a whole bunch of like little locks, and if you can get the key to go in just right, it drops the prize down. And yeah, there's a lot of people have seen those at, like, for instance, like arcades at beaches, like on boardwalks and stuff like that. Or maybe at like a Dave and Buster's, or any kind of adult arcade, or even kids arcades, of course, if you can find some, because they're not really too many of them still around. But the one thing I thought was a very cool business that I've seen that has popped up that people have been starting to do at older theaters is they buy these older theaters up, and they retrofit them into what they call like a brew like it's like a beer theater where you're able to get you're able to get bar food, basically like appetizers and bar type food and beers, and they show movies. Now typically the movies aren't brand new typically.
Okay. The new dollar theater.
But they do some of the older movies. I think there are a few though. There's actually there is a company now that's going around, very smart of them, and buying theaters up and actually doing brand new movies in them as well. And there's only there's only one company that I know of, at least here on the East Coast, that does it. But other than that, there are privately owned ones like this too as well, because again, it's just a smart, different style business that people are like, oh wow, that's pretty neat, you know?
Yeah, different. Yeah, it's smart. That's cool.
Because I also heard that right now there's also, for instance, streaming services are dropping things early. The movie industry. I heard that drive-in theaters are not forced to close, and there's actually you can actually go to if they exist where you live, because obviously there are plenty of places where drive-in theaters have all but dried up and disappeared. There are a few places out there that have still kept them around because it's still considered something that people pass down to their kids that they enjoy.
Yeah. See, that's cool because I knew about like Netflix and Disney Plus and those kind of things. Even Fandango, they're like, oh, hey, just $19.99. 5 people can watch it at your house. But I didn't know about the drive-in theater thing. That's cool. Yeah,
so drive-in theaters, and they're recommending it because obviously it's something where you and your family can go and actually enjoy it and stay away from other people. You're self-quarantining more or less in your vehicle,
Right, yeah.
But it's still something that you can enjoy, and it's entertainment, and it gets you out of your house. So, but it's like one of the things where the movie industry can't rely on it. That's why they have to release movies to people in the meantime, because if they don't, the movies that they created and put so much money into, they don't even have a shot. Like, most movies that crap out at the box office is because the movie sucks. But these movies don't even the movies don't even have a chance. If you don't even have a chance to prove yourself that you either suck or you're really good, then it's like, well, that money was just wasted only, because of this incident. So.
Yep. Let's expedite it. Let's put it to streaming services. Yeah.
But streaming services and mobile games and tobacco and alcohol. Oh, and what's crazy? All the ads for the casinos that normally happen, they're all just converting them to online ads. It's very easy for them. Because casinos, of course, all close down, but if they promote their online, at least here in Pennsylvania, you can gamble online to the I don't. But cuz that's dangerous.
Well, sure, but if you lose $5,000, you don't get a free hotel night.
Well, it's true too, but the PA casinos aren't all that. I mean, they might have changed since I stopped going to a lot. Well, I go to one, and it's been since last year. But most of the PA casinos that I used to go to on a regular basis, even if they had a hotel, they weren't giving the kind of comps that everybody's used to at Atlantic City and at especially Vegas. Vegas comps the crap out of you so that you stay there, and if you win a lot, they want you to stay. So, but if you win a lot at some of the places here in Pennsylvania, I haven't really seen the kind of comps, at least not yet. So, and it's also because there's so many old people here that, I don't know, a lot of times they might have already gotten the place to stay. You know what I mean? Because the young people, I want to say like 60 and under that go out to Vegas. They might have a place to stay, but they'll upgrade. They'll do this, that, and the other thing. But the super older people, they want comps, but they want food. And to be honest with you, I don't know why, but the PA places, up until last year, I wasn't seeing anything crazy food wise that you were being offered. No, like, hey, have a free buffet. No, it's like, here's $2 off on extremely overpriced food.
Yeah, well, 6 months from now, when there's zombies walking around, we're all going to miss the comps from casinos for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't gamble anymore because I got DOT to gamble on? Wow. You know, let's just say. Okay,
Yeah.
look at it like this, okay? People stop smoking cigarettes and use a vape for nicotine, okay? It still gives you nicotine, but it does take away a lot of other harmful carcinogens and things that are in actual cigarettes. So you still get that nicotine fix, but at the same time, you skip out on all this other crap, okay? So Dawn of Titans still gives me that let's see what I'm going to get sensation, but I don't have to put in a ton of money, and I don't have to drive, what is it, like 45 minutes? I don't have to drive 45 minutes there, and then the ride of shame.
Yeah, you don't spend money, but you spend a lot of time.
But the ride of shame back is the worst. And now, it doesn't happen all the time, but the thing is, if you drive 45 minutes there, you're always, of course, super excited because you're like, oh man, we're going. We'll see what happens. It's going to be great. That 45-minute drive back, though, when things don't go the way you wanted to, man, you're not happy at all. You just wish you were home and wish you never went. You know what I mean? So I just avoid all of that, you know? Avoid all of that.
Yeah.
But also, it's not even an option right now anyway.
I'm off out to the gardens, Long. I'll catch you later.
Oh, back to the garden. Excellent, Feranic. Enjoy. Pisces Sharks, vaping causes popcorn lungs, which might be worse than regular smoking. Yeah, we'll see. But I'll tell you, I haven't vaped in a while. But at the same time, though, I wouldn't mind not smoking as many cigarettes. Because when you don't have a lot, especially when I was unemployed, definitely. It's a lot more costly. But at the same time, too, if I just use vaping also as a possible way to just completely quit smoking in general, that's still not a bad idea. Also, too, I also don't vape huge, massive clouds either, which could make a bigger difference on, you know. Not saying that doesn't mean you won't get something bad like popcorn lung, but I believe that people that are vaping for massive clouds are giving themselves more of an opportunity to have problems, and I don't do that. That's ridiculous. Well, good for you, Pisces. You don't vape, smoke, or drink. Good for you.
What do you mean good for you? Isn't Pisces like 18? Like,
well,
I mean,
it just depends. I think so. I'd say about 18.
Start smoking. So I smoked cigarettes. I started at 25.
Wow, that's actually considered pretty. That's actually considered very late. I mean, I started smoking at 18, but that was just because, well, at the time I was very easily accessible to just get cigarettes when I was 18. So.
Well, yeah, but you know, keep in mind I was Mormon, bro. Like I came back to the States at 23.
That does make a big difference.
Yeah, like I couldn't. Yeah, sex, drugs, and rock and roll weren't my thing. Mm-hmm. But 25 cigarettes. I'm 36 now. And that's a dry smoke. When I do the vape thing, if somebody's like, "Oh, it smells so good, it's cotton candy," it actually, I can't, like the first 1 or 2 seconds when I'm inhaling, I start coughing uncontrollably because it's a wet smoke, the vape, rather than the dry smoke of a cigarette. So.
Yeah, it's basically water vapor for the most part. So yeah. But I'll tell you, I've noticed a difference a difference before when I switched over. You taste things more, you smell things more. There's a big difference in how everything is. Now, it's not something you notice in like a day. You notice it usually over like about a few days to a week to 2 weeks. It's very noticeable. Plus, also, none of your clothes or anything around you stinks like cigarettes. That is the major plus.
Ugh.
That's another major plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but, you know. Everybody has their vices. Even Pisces Shark.
Do you smoke or no?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You hear the lighter here on my stream. I'm also drinking though too. So that's the one thing.
Well, I didn't know what the lighter was for.
Yeah. Drinking and smoking actually go real hand in hand with me. Unfortunately, because that's where, if anything, if I say, oh man, I only had like one cigarette today, but then at the same time, if I drink at night, I'm like, whoop, that's out the window. So.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so that is the one thing. Now, I also don't drink all the time either. I do like to keep it to the weekends because it does make things. It just makes it so much more enjoyable as well when you do save it for the time when you actually have time.
Gosh, yeah. D was definitely smoking the other night. Thank goodness.
No, D. I was gonna say Dee was definitely having a great time with her. What's it called?
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine how Drum
with her
just was like in the background, just rolling his eyes?
Yeah. Well.
Right. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm sure they had a great time.
I mean, you got to keep yourself entertained. I mean, gosh.
Well, yeah. That's why. I was gonna say my brother just let me know today that he found out that his business of banking, they're actually doing every others, which is interesting, where they basically pair off with somebody else in the office, and each person takes a laptop home, and every other day, like you go in one day, then the other person goes in the other day.
Dude, yes. Okay, what state does he live in?
He's in Pennsylvania with me.
Okay, so yeah, in Nebraska, in the automobile industry, we don't close down. I mean, you still sell cars, whatever, right? And everybody gets mad at you because it's like, why are you still open? And that's what we've done too. It's like A and B shifts.
Yeah.
A goes down, B just works full time.
Yeah, and this is the thing, what's it called? The car industry here in Pennsylvania is a little different, at least in this aspect, where sales are closed, except for...
wow.
Yeah, sales are closed, but the maintenance is not. Maintenance is all open.
Sure. Well, that's like the Hy-Vee. That's like the grocery stores and the postal. Yeah, you have to have the automobiles working.
Yeah,
but
so maintenance is open, but sales is not, because they just don't want people coming into the stores. But this is what some places like Gary Barbera on the Boulevard. This is the Boulevard in Philadelphia, so this is a very predominant place where this guy is actually a very predominant car salesperson, just because they're in a very affluent area, but it's also a high traffic area. Anyway, so this guy has come up with the idea. They're just advertising. He was on his iPhone or something like that to make the ad. Basically, he even said it in the ad. He's like, "I'm on my phone. I'm not even in the studio," because they're obviously not allowing them to do that kind of stuff. So basically, he said that they're doing delivery sales, which means you go on their website. If you want to test drive certain cars, you basically scheduling appointments on the website, and they will come to your house and bring the car to your house so you can do test drives. And then after that, if you decide to buy any vehicles, they will take it back, obviously clean it up, or do whatever, or order the vehicle that you wanted in the right color or whatever you want, and they will deliver it to your house. So again, you
have no idea how frustrating this is. This is always so this has always been a thing because people buy cars via the internet. So I work for a corporation that's 24 car dealerships deep inside of 3 states in the Midwest, right?
Okay.
Well, like, we will locate a car from Idaho and deliver it to Arizona because, hey, we want to make a car sale. But now that information has become public. So now everybody's like, oh, deliver my car. It's so great. It's like, oh my gosh dang it. like I've worked in this industry for 5 years, and now it's like the secret's out. Carvana, okay, no problem. So we've been doing this for forever, but now it's like, and so salesmen don't like to do it because it involves time and effort. But now it's just like, oh, hey, Corona, we'll take it to you. Oh, reinventing the wheel. Mm-hmm. But, oh man, for the sales guys, it's like, well, you know, you have almost no interaction with the customer. There's no rapport, and you make a sale, but it's a lot. I mean, it takes. I mean, you have to have these. So, and the people that like deliver the cars are retired old men. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, in the middle of Corona, who doesn't want to be outside? Old people. So now we're like, oh, we're trying to fight Corona by being like, oh, we won't touch you, we won't talk to you, we'll just deliver it. Unfortunately, the people that would deliver it don't want to do it. So it's an interesting time.
True.
I'll say that.
Well, the one thing I always thought was interesting is the fact that people are already retrofitting. Well, there's definitely a lot of factories retrofitting for manufacturing other different products because they're very necessary right now. And I almost feel like people that, if you want to continue to work right now in an industries where they say that you're essential, you might have to retrofit or adapt to your environment and just deal with it. See, I thought it was crazy that some restaurants, they're like, we don't offer delivery right now because we never do. Well, it's like, all right, well, let's see. What kind of employees do you have? It's interesting that it seems like a lot of businesses haven't thought of this, but here's some ingenious work here. You go, what kind of employees do I have? Well, I have my cooks. Okay, well, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. Now, I have a restaurant that has, I have 15 waiters and waitresses. Well, since nobody's going to be eating in here, okay, they're all younger people. Okay. They have crappy cars, majority of them, because they're fairly young people. Okay.
Sure.
Well, what do younger people their age that work at other places that do offer delivery? They have all crappy cars. Okay. So why don't you just take your waiters and waitresses and make them delivery people? Why doesn't everybody do that? Like, it's interesting. All you do is you say, listen, we're going to pay you for mileage. And we're gonna offer delivery. And yes, we have 15 waiters and waitresses. We're going to make 6 of you into delivery drivers. It's the best thing we can do. Or maybe we'll do half for one day and half for the other day. So we have, half the staff is at least somewhat working. But still, you can easily take waiters and waitresses, make them all delivery drivers. They drive crappy cars already. If you don't have a vehicle, then sorry, you can't participate in this situation. But if you do, you might as well do something. Or what, you're going to just go home, oh, I'm a waiter or waitress, nobody needs me right now. Well, maybe they do need you. Maybe you can still work. Maybe you can still make money. I don't know. Right there, I was just like, why aren't people thinking of that one? But maybe some have. But there's all sorts of you're right. Like Uber and Uber's up, Lyft's up. Walmart employees, like those are those are the niches right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's probably the same amount of people that were, applying to be truck drivers now than there was before, because that industry, you do have to go to, you have to go get your CDL and everything else. And by the time a lot of people would go and get all that stuff done and everything else, there won't be as much. It'll still always be a demand for drivers, but still. It's not like you can just go all of a sudden just take 10,000, 20,000 unemployed workers and be like, all right, everybody get in those trucks, get going, save the country. You know what I mean? Because then the roadways would be a mess. But there is still so many trucks out there right now on the roadways. So many. What's going on, Winifred? Thank you for joining. Oh man. What's up, Seth Mopod? Thank you for joining. How's everyone doing, both feeling and in event? Well, feeling pretty good. in the event, since I've been grinding for a little bit, I'm at 4,200, so not bad. Not bad. Still making headway. Almost at the 4th token at 4,500. Again, straight grind. Started the event with 64,000 gems, so I'm up about 1,500 gems right now. And still got a bunch of Portal Stone relics that I can still save for Conquest, which is probably one.
4,000. You're such a slacker.
I know. But I'm going to make, like I said, I'm going to make up for it tonight and also all day tomorrow. And then Monday, Monday is just going to be so awesome. That's why I'm going to definitely save up these Portal Stone relics for Monday, definitely.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So exciting. And honestly, like, Conquest is great. Like, whatever the Titan is, wonderful. But the cat ponging,
is that what you like to do? Is that what? Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I'm not a big cat pong fan myself, but I personally.
Dude, are you kidding me? It's 3 days of maxing your relics. Like, that's how I do Conquest.
But cat ponging won't be necessary if we already have one Portal Stone raids. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
That's weird. You're right. Yeah.
It is normally the best way to go, and I totally get it, but it's just not my thing. But in this case,
right.
It will be just as effective as regular raiding.
Gosh, wow. Oh my gosh. Great point.
Just saying. So that little bit of extra time that you're dealing with for the cat pong,
right?
Throw that all out the window. Just saying.
Oh my gosh, I can't even. Yeah, Zalon. Wow. So excited. This is going to be great.
But I get it, though. Cat Pong people do have the best advantage when it comes down to getting the most for the least put in. So.
Dude, I spend... I'm so petty that I'll spend 10 gems to change my name to Cat Pong time.
There you go.
Every time there's a Conquest, I'm like, Cat Pong time.
Right.
I changed my name. I'm like, let's go.
Well, and as long as you play in what, Masters or Legends League, or do you play low?
No, I'm in beta. They stay in Legends.
Okay. Well, yeah, and as long as you're in the Legend League, whether you're on server 1 or server 2, that there are other people that are going to be participating. There always is. Always.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh! Like I mean, it gets to the point where you're just so into it, and then you're like, oh man, now all my relics are, your little bubble's like 36. You're like, okay, let me just take a second to fuse this thing up and go back at it.
Exactly. So.
And oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next relic inventory upgrade where they have more room, because I'm so sick of the little bubble. Like, you got 12 to go, or 36 or 42.
Yeah, I usually have about, let's see, at this point I have about 65 relic slots that I can use.
Jeez. Wow.
But, it's roughly around there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. I mean, I would definitely love to see another 100 added.
Right.
It'd be nice.
Oh my gosh.
Another 100 would be nice, because they have to increase it at some point with the way they release relics. Now, is it as bad as bad as it used to be? No. And the only reason I say that is because we used to see 3 and 4 new relics sometimes. Very, very, very close to each, like in the same event. Whereas now we definitely see plenty of relics that we've seen before, and maybe one or two new ones.
Like, now the tournaments, like, you have there's I feel like there's always 2 unique ones, whereas before it was
unless it's a what's it called, like a relic 2-day relic event, Alliance leaderboard.
Mm-hmm.
Then a lot of times,
good point.
A lot of times they'll do one new one, like Dark Charms.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that, where there's one new one and then maybe some other sought after ones.
The pre-release,
yeah. It would be a pre-release, in all honesty, because most people don't. It's only certain people that'll bite hard and get reeled in. Little fishing reference there. but yes, some people, because it's just the first time they show it off, and people will be like, "Oh God, I gotta get it," and then everybody else realizes
13,000. Yeah,
everybody else realizes
to get something that's gonna drop all the time. Yeah.
Well, it might just be it might just drop as an end relic, maybe in other events. Or maybe all of a sudden, or maybe
it's going to be in the next event. So I mean,
soon enough, yes, very soon, depending on what their plans are. But they also sometimes we see relics go from being an end relic event or a stretch goal reward, and maybe 6 months later it's down at 10,000, and you're like,
100%, yeah.
That was 6 months ago.
Like,
that was you had to grind all the way to the end for that. But all of a sudden now it doesn't happen. So
bitter.
It doesn't happen all.
Like,
I'm not gonna say it happens all the time. Sometimes. But yeah, some relics we just see, and again, it's just like referring to dud movies. Before it's like as soon as you see a movie that's a dud and that it just didn't do well, then all of a sudden now back in the day it used to pop on TV. Within 6 months of being out of the theaters, you're like, ooh, that was a bad movie. It came at...
Well, and you got to think so Pigsy was like, I don't know, 4 or 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves pigs. Like, amazing defense. And if you can combine, 2 or 3 really, like, wild arrows and the skull and the little champion thing, the 5-star, like, oh, you're 60 million defense. So everybody's like, like they're re-releasing the Pigsy Ultimate.
Web spell, Winifred. A web spell. That's interesting. I like that. Interesting. Now a web spell in the game, would that be something that as soon as you put it on an enemy troop, they're just stuck there? It's like a free spell, but different. I don't know. Would it be like a free spell and a poison spell combined? Like the effects. Like what happens, Huh. 16,000 souls. 16,000 souls. Very nice, Winifred. Now, see, I only used that 50 portal stone, not because I was just like, well, it was from this event, and I have that other 175 or 125 that's gonna expire in 2 days and like 16 hours. That I'm saving for Monday because I think it's gonna be more useful grinding triple battle drops because. Right now, I'm fine just grinding the way it is. I mean, as long as one portal stone stays the same, it's going to be fine either way. But I'd rather use it when I'm grinding all day for triple battle drops. Where's the enemy? Are they over here? In the stupid woods. You like to fish? What hobby do you have? I'm low on souls right now, but will be interesting grinding right now. Yeah. What hobbies do I have? I have the hobbies of... Let's see.
If you say anything other than Dawn of Titans, you're a liar. All your time is spent on Dawn of Titans.
No. Actually, it's not. It's not. Let's see. Well, I spend time... Well, this is also more my hobbies. I can spend way more time on them when I'm not working. So basically, that's typically what I like to do. But I have a few collections that I like to keep. And they're just, again, that's another thing why I enjoy collecting in Dawn of Titans in general, because I am a bit of a collector. Not a hoarder, though, because if you come into my house, it's not like I have, like, stuff stacked to the ceilings and stuff like that. But I have a few collections of different things.
Okay, what are your collections, Star Wars boy? What are your collections?
Well, I do have a few things from Star Wars, but a lot of it has to do with different either TV shows or movies, and I just basically have a few things. Well, Game of Thrones. I definitely have a good dozen, Game of Thrones things from just different things. Like some of them are most recently the Scotch bottles, but I have a few Game of Thrones things. Like I said, because I did go over to the when I went on that cruise last year, I did get a chance to go to the set of King's Landing, and that was really cool. And I was able to pick up a couple Game of Thrones things there, so that was pretty neat. And I have a decent collection of Sons of Anarchy stuff. Between like
oh my gosh,
yeah.
I respected you for Game of Thrones, but I lost it with Sons of Anarchy.
Well, see, that was I didn't. The stuff itself is just super cool, whether you like the show or not. I just like I have this huge Game of Thrones blanket or not Game of Thrones, Sons of Anarchy blanket, and it's just awesome, absolutely awesome. I also got a cigar humidor, Sons of Anarchy as well.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's basically looks like a saddlebag from a motorcycle. Oh,
wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and of course, I do enjoy, smoking cigars as well, just as a, it's not a hobby, but I don't mind having a cigar when I am having some whiskey. Besides from that, though, I do enjoy going outside and when I'm with my daughter, because my parents still have my bike up there, so I ride. I like to go on bike rides with my daughter when I'm with her. But when I'm down here living by where I'm at,
super cute.
I'm definitely what's it called? I go outside for I either run or walk, depending on what's going on at the time. Like right now, I'm not exactly going on any kind of long distance runs, so pretty much just if I want to get out, I do that. But for the most part, because I like to go to the parks, if I go to parks and do a lap around a park or two or a lake, I like to do that and get out around here, because we have some really nice lakes and parks around here, at least where I'm at.
Pennsylvania, very green and lush. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely some great places. And let's see what else. My collection of South Park. It's strictly DVD seasons, but I have the full collection of all the South Park DVD seasons. Started collecting years ago and have never stopped because I love the show.
Oh my god!
But it's only because I looked up and saw it. I looked up and saw it up my looked it up and saw it on my shelf because they're all up there. But yeah, big South Park fan. Matt and Trey are amazing. So if you can,
you're talking to a Mormon. Did you see the?
No, I never went to go see it. But if you can, I was just gonna say, if you can create something that actual Mormons go to see. And Mormons say how incredibly accurate and funny it is, and they actually
100 yes.
And there's actually jokes and things in there that strictly Mormons will understand more than the average person. So
right,
it's pretty.
Yeah, I went on a date. Somebody took me to see that, and they had seen it before, and it was kind of weird because they were just like watching like my reactions most of all to see like. Yeah.
How accurate it actually is. Yeah. Well, Matt and Trey have done a very good job and have been able to pretty much do really good at whatever they wanted to do, whether it's making movies, making a TV show.
Yes, and I was like, because it was so obvious that they had consulted with multiple ex-missionaries because spot on. Wow. Yeah. If you've seen South Park, you've seen a couple of Mormon episodes. But yeah, my gosh, go see that Broadway show. It's wonderful.
Well, it's closed now, but
take a Mormon.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, take a Mormon with you. That's a good slogan line for them. Take a Mormon.
Yeah. But, bring your friend. Yeah.
But anyway, so back to like hobbies and stuff like that. Let's see. Well, I cut and split firewood, not just to heat my house, but also as another reason for me to get out and about. So it is It's for me. It's actually more therapeutic than anything else. It sounds like work to some people. I know. Whoop-de-doo. But especially when I have those 3 months of unemployment, I don't mind getting out. And yeah, I do go around and what's it called? Because a lot of this stuff is either listed online, or occasionally I just see it or somebody tells me. But when there's a few companies that basically have all the contracts for all the state roads to cut all the trees back from the power lines, they periodically go and will do long sections at one time. And as long as you're there within, I don't know, about 2 weeks or so, you can grab whatever you want basically from the side of the road. So I'll, grab whatever I want. And if it's, especially if it's really good, and go split it up, and it's all free firewood. Because state roads, these aren't actually on people's properties or anything like that. There is a lot of times state game lands. There's plenty of lush forests here, so there's plenty of state game lands and all sorts of stuff where there's absolutely no restrictions on, hey, there's a whole bunch of stuff that the companies, they leave it all there. They cut it and leave it in stacked piles, and usually 4 to 5 foot long sections. And all you gotta do is just throw it in the back of your truck and take it off way. And I split it up. I do have a machine splitter, and it heats my house, and it's very efficient. And I pay.
You're saying your firewood heats your house? You don't really?
Well, I live in a. It's not a. I don't want to say house. When I say that, it makes it sound like this is massively huge. I live in a 2-story. I guess you would call it a townhouse. So there is people to my left and people to my right. We do share walls, but they're so thick because it was built back in the 70s that I can rarely hear people.
But so you're saying you don't you use firewood more than actual,
I don't use anything else. I don't use anything else but firewood in my house.
Wow! Oh my gosh!
So yes, there's a big Amish stove. When you hear me say I have to go put more wood on the fire, is because I have to go put more wood on the fire.
Dude, that is wow. Okay, so
if you want to know how much my electricity bill is every month, it is between $60 and $100. That is it.
Huh.
And that's year round. That's summertime. It's usually $100 because it's hot out. My refrigerator has to work harder. That's pretty much it.
No kidding. Oh my gosh, that's super cool. So I mean, Appalachian Mountains, just living off the lumberwood. That's wow. That's cool.
Yeah, well, and like I said, a lot of times it's on country roads that this is also being done on. So it's, again, like I said, very easy to find. And when they go on and when they do a section, it can go on for a mile or two. So even if other people are out there grabbing some of it every once in a while, it's not like it disappears really quickly. So.
Oh my gosh! Wow, this is wonderful. What a hobby! I mean, my gosh.
Well, I mean,
I chop wood because I live in a forest.
Well, I was just gonna say too. I mean, it's still densely populated around me. When I say densely populated, I mean, there's probably a good. Let's see, just in this, because there's like 2 cul-de-sacs here in the little association that I live in. There's probably like about 100 houses, because there's probably about 100 separate places here. So, and I only think that maybe a third of them have stoves in them because they were all built similar code. And those probably 33 places that have them, or 33 and a third,
dude, that's cool.
They probably don't even burn or use any of them. So there may only be myself and like 2 others that actually burn anything. But most of them have oil heat. I do have the option to use oil heat, but I just don't.
Yeah.
So.
Well, why would you? Yeah.
But besides that, of course, it's just me doing it. Throw on my headphones and just exercise at the same time. Do something that's gonna save me some money at the same time too. So.
Well, gosh, I mean, what a cool lifestyle. I mean, yeah, if I didn't have to pay my OPPD people, like the Omaha Public Power District or whatever. I mean, that's super cool. So
well, I mean, the other option is to also get solar panels. I mean, if any people that have the option or the money, if the funds to get solar panels and sell your electricity back, that's a really smart, efficient way to do things as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to do that when I have my own place. I rent. I pay, what is it, like $8.75 a month for my place, and I have a two bedroom, 1.5 bath, which is really good price. I'm just gonna be honest.
Jeez, yeah, that's not bad at all.
You know. And anyway, I just live, and I don't really need all this space. But to be honest with you, if I would go and live at a place that like a 1-bedroom around here, most 1-bedrooms are like $900 or $1,000, and I'm like, well, if I'm paying $875 for 2 bedrooms, like, and all this extra space, it's like, well, why would I go to some place that's smaller and pay maybe possibly more? So just made the
real question is why don't you have a bidet?
Yeah, I guess so. Because I don't want to have to deal with it. You know, I deal with having to install it and then not be able to bring it with me.
I don't feel that you could actually have a bidet. I mean, if your lumberjack ways, I mean, my goodness, I mean,
yeah,
you'd probably be shamed out of the community.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, doing clean cuts, Spicy Shark. Yeah, using an axe. Axe is fun, definitely. Wedge and sledge, though, for some of the real big stuff, because obviously just a regular axe definitely won't get through some of those really, I'm talking big round ones that you can't even put your arms all the way around. You got to use wedge and sledge to get them split at least once, maybe twice, and then, yeah. But yeah, I typically like to use the splitter because most of the pieces I deal with are typically massive. That's another reason why a lot of that stuff doesn't get thrown in the chipper when they do cut all the trees along the side of the road for the power lines, because they don't want to chip up stuff that won't even fit into the back of it. So, or they don't want to lift it off the ground. So, but anyway, so I don't know. That's just something. That's just something that goes on. But the thing is, though, I only have to do that for 5, maybe 6 months out of the year, and then the rest of the time I don't have to do any of it. But just stock up on stuff whenever I see it. So, besides from that, though, I'm also. Let's see. We can go through a few other things. What else?
Yeah, Zalon. I mean, everybody's on the edge of their seats right now.
Oh,
what
of
other
course.
hobbies do you have?
Of course. I can line up a few others. So, let's see. What else? Big fan of. Because of course I wasn't thinking about all this. What do I want? What do I feel like getting into right now? I'm looking around. Well, I do play the alto saxophone, so music is a big part of my life. Although, obviously, the last time I was playing on a pretty regular basis was getting ready for a just a concert that was at my high school where they had all the alumni from the high school come back and play, which included my mom, my uncle, my brother, my aunt, myself. It was a whole bunch of my family members were all there, and we actually played all in the same band, which was pretty neat. And then the person that directed us, which was also an alumnus of my high school, was the guy that directs the President's Own band. What is that? I forget what his name was. And he might not be there anymore because, of course, they do get replaced after so many years. But yeah, the guy who directed the President's Band, because he has his own band and everything else, the director came from my high school, so he actually was able to direct for a few pieces, which was pretty awesome because he was wearing his military uniform from the white one that they usually use to at all the different presidential functions. So it was pretty neat. It was interesting. So. But that happened I think it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. So I was playing a lot during that time, but I haven't been playing too much, except for whenever my daughter wants to hear me play, because I don't mind showing her a few things. But yeah, music is definitely awesome. And when your mom is a music teacher, you definitely practiced a lot when you're younger.
All right, so you lumberjack, saxophone queen. What else do you do?
What else do I do? Well, let's see. I play basketball, baseball, tennis. 'Cause my dad was a tennis coach, so I've been playing that especially since I was 5. So of course I passed that on to my daughter, and been definitely trying to play and also have my dad help out because he loves to be out there. So it's great just to see, especially because my dad's 74 and he is absolutely awesome for his age. He's very in shape, which is great. So he's still able to go and do stuff like that. Besides from that,
how old is your maid? You upper middle class little spoiled white boy.
I don't have a maid. No maid at all. I take care of everything. I mean, obviously, if you came to my house, you'd be like, well, it's obvious that you're single and that you live alone, because obviously, yes, I don't clean, like, there's piles of mail and there's definitely like stuff that I can definitely, you know, spend some, you know, I don't do the, what's it called? I don't wash the dishes every night because I don't create that much. You know what I mean? When you don't create a lot, and also if you're smart, if you're a smart single guy, you'll use a paper towel to put your sandwich on. You know,
Yeah.
if you're a smart single guy, you'll do that.
Oh my gosh! Right.
So
yeah.
I mean, and when my daughter comes to visit, it's hilarious because I'll just put my sandwich and her sandwich on on paper towels, and she'll just look at me like, "Can I have a plate?" I'm like, "I don't want to wash that. It's a sandwich. It's not going to create that much crumbs."
Mom, yeah. Mom gives me a dish.
Yeah, I'm like, well.
Well,
Churro, no, I'm not in a band. I was in high school though. I was in a band, which was a lot of fun as well. Which we did a lot of.
Of course you were in a band. What haven't you done? Like, well, I was cliff diving in Bahamas.
No, not ritzy stuff. Not too much ritzy stuff. Only a few times have I ever done ritzy stuff. And ritzy stuff I'm referring to is I went on one cruise. That's ritzy. I've gone to one time. I've also gone to Martha's Vineyard and stayed there for a week. But that's super ritzy. But that was for my grandparents, who my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary, which again is not something that many people will ever celebrate. Probably within the next 10 years. We will never see people.
We have 6 months. There's only 6 months left. It's Corona.
All right. But listen, 10 years from now, we will not see any more 50-year anniversaries anymore. They just won't happen. Period. Why?
Yeah,
because couples will not have enough time in their lifetimes to have 50 years together. Okay?
Well, they used to get married when they were in their young 20s.
That's true.
Most people now, it's like, well, maybe in my young 30s, maybe. Yeah.
You know, so that's something. Also, I forget if it was on stream, or I think it was on stream, and I forget if it was my stream or not. But because of the coronavirus, in 9 months from now, there is going to be a massive wave of new babies.
Yes, December is going to be coronavirus generation for sure.
And the term "corona baby" will also be a term that people they'll be like, oh, when were you born? Oh, I'm a corona baby. Oh, okay, yeah, December 2020. December 2020. Yeah.
I prefer Budweiser, so I don't like you.
Mm-hmm. So it's very possible. So
no, 100. Yeah, like absolutely. Like, because every time there's like a blizzard in New York or wherever, like they hunker down, and then like 9 months later, it's like boom.
Yeah. Now I do spend my Friday nights with this DOT community, and live stream and do this stuff. The thing is, it's crazy. Is most people that know me in real life, I have to explain to them that I do this. a lot of people, like, I most of the time, nobody knows unless, some of my close family members have known I've been doing this for a while, but most people don't know I do this. They just think I live a completely different life, and YouTubing and playing Dawn of Titans and everything else is just not part of it. Whereas everyone that watches me on here thinks it's maybe the only thing I do, It's very interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting.
I was literally I was on a date just now, like a couple hours ago, like about 8 o'clock, and you pop up on YouTube, and I was like, "Hey, babe, would it be okay with you?" And I was like, "What?" I'm like, well, like I had to explain it, yeah.
Well, that's why I was just going to say, because it's not something that everybody people know about watching somebody's channel. There's that. But live streams is a way different aspect, especially if you're going to participate on Discord, because when you say that you're going to do that, it's more or less like being a guest on a radio show. So... yeah,
right, yeah.
And most of the time, guests on radio shows don't get any more time than maybe like 20 minutes. It's not that long most of the time when you have major guests on radio shows. But when you have co-hosts, usually they're there the whole time. But I kind of I roll with no co-host at this point and just whoever wants to jump in, jump out kind of thing, which is nice.
Yeah, man. I'm waiting for the direct message when you're like, "Hey, man, Chance, like, you gotta back off. You're annoying me."
Well, that's the thing, though, and this is something you'll notice as well. Okay, and I know this because of being on other people's streams, but it gets addictive. It does. You're gonna because Ice, you can tell DOT community, and I think everybody knows at this point that Ice is heavily addicted to being on my Discord chats. Like, he loves to be on, to the point where he messages me on Discord on like a Friday, maybe like 5-6 p.m. and goes, "You gonna stream tonight?" And it's like,
no, but
he just wants to know because he's already got that time blocked out to be on. You know what I mean? And that's when you know somebody's really excited and really wants to do it.
Yeah, and I love how Ice changes your dynamic. I mean, you'll be like going one way or sad about something, and Ice will come in and be like, "Hey," like try to like change it, make you more happy. I'm like, it's like your little like boyfriends. I'm like, oh my god, it's so cute.
Well, having people that are from different, all sorts of different places and ways of life and everything else is good for a good dynamic, because it gives for a good perspective. Because you got Jim, he comes on, he's got that real gruff voice, real trucker style, and then you got Val,
right.
And then you got that's the thing, when you have all sorts of when you listen to a radio show, you typically have all sorts of different voices and dynamics and everything else, which is why it makes it so great. Honestly, I could not do and enjoy what I do without the people that come on here. So it does make things bro. It makes it enjoyable for me. I wouldn't be having this much fun as I am. People may think, man, live stream.
You're so lucky.
Some people think live streaming's work. And it is at times, because it can feel like it. You do have to put in time and put the effort in, because someone messaged me just recently about wanting to know about info to how to live stream onto YouTube. And I've done this at least, I'm not going to say I've done it millions of times, because everybody says that kind of crap. But I've done it at least a good dozen, maybe 2 dozen times over the last 3 years, where people come to me and ask me, what do I need to do? And I do. I lay it out. I say, you got to do this, this, this. And it's not like these are the keys of life, or these are the keys, to 10,000 subscribers. They're not, because the real truth is, to get 10,000 subscribers is either come up with something that goes immediately viral, which means you're witness to something, it's great. But if you don't witness something every week, you can't create a channel. Some of the most viral videos you will see when you go to their channel, they'll have other videos that are all like 100 hits, 50 hits, 60 hits. And it's like, but wait, they have a video that has over 1 million views, and it's because they witnessed something, or they did something that was incredibly viral, but that's it. And it's like a one-hit wonder band. And what do?
Yeah.
You have to create something to make it, to actually have something happen again. So when it comes down to the whole, what do you need to do on YouTube is you have to find something that you enjoy. And if you don't enjoy it, it'll definitely feel like work. And that's why a lot of people say it feels like work after a while, is because you're not enjoying it anymore.
Well, dude, honestly, the work for me is the game. And so, I got, super into you because it's it was a breath of fresh air. I'm talking to people who are just well, all right, we're grinding, we're doing this. And then all these people get on and you're like, wow. It's better than TV. So, because it's my people, it's my hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and, granted, you're a grinder. You and I are not we're not the same in this game.
Oh yeah, so, I can definitely agree, because a lot of people have a lot of different ways of playing the game. Some like to be a collector, some like to be on the tip of the meta, some like to grind every event that they possibly can, but at the same time they like to they'll spend money on relics.
You're homeless. Yeah, I think you're homeless living under a bridge. You have so much time to grind.
Me personally, I typically don't, but I was gonna say
you are a grinder.
Sometimes some events I'm able to do a bit more because I actually do have time off, on Saturday and Sunday typically. But yeah, I'm a weekend warrior in this game. And most people in NTG are. Most people in NTG can play more on their Friday nights, Saturday and Sunday. Whereas more of the warring type player plays straight through the week. Well, actually, I'm sorry. More of the warring type player has more time to dedicate on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Let's look at it that way.
But I guess that's my point. Is you Thursday through Sunday at 3 a.m.
It's my time to play.
Yeah, I have one day. Beta is the first day. The minimum is 18,000, 13,000. Or complete the minimum. The last one for Baba Yaga, the first day was 40K. You know what I mean? We are in totally different worlds, but I still love you.
So it looks like Extinction is trying to get Pisces Shark to join war, and Six Ladies. Yeah, Extinction's like, Pisces Shark, come to war. We have 6 ladies here. He's enticing him by the ladies. Interesting. But yeah, Monday, Thursday, Sunday for you, Extinction. Oh, I see. Interesting. But yes, yeah. So it is. But see, there is midweek events that pull me in, though. They definitely do. Where I dedicate a little bit more time towards a certain midweek event, but also too, there's a good chance that maybe I'm not going to be as interested in the event on the weekend. There is sometimes the possibility. So.
I want more construction frenzies. That's all I'm concerned about.
Now you're starting to sound like Ice. You're starting to sound like Ice, because
right?
Yeah, it's okay
so
because
bitter.
It's good. It's good
So
though.
bitter.
It's good though. He'll listen to it later and say, "Oh, that sounds like me."
That's my boy.
Yeah,
That's my boy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. So here's a quick story. I just want to say that this is something that definitely needs a little bit more done, just so you know. And it is another hobby of mine. Again, it may not seem to be as much of a hobby as it is just an interest, more or less. But I went to school for business, specifically small business, because I enjoy family-run businesses, and I truly enjoy the entrepreneurship that is involved in creating something from nothing. So I, of course, over the last few days have been stocking up on things, or just being out and about doing my normal thing. Jeez, that was a huge burp. Anyway, so
that was huge. I apologize.
Okay, so while doing so, of course, I have stopped at a few of just my normal places that I go to for, takeout food, or just, not usually dine in, but usually takeout. And I went in tonight to the new pizza place that's been down the street from my house, which I'm very happy that they moved in, because it's definitely way better than anything else in the area now at this point. And the unfortunate thing is, since they're so new, when I went in and asked how they were doing, they're in their month at this point for a small business, especially a pizza restaurant. I'm sorry, I want to say they've been there for about 4 months. About month 4, month 5. If you're a upswing restaurant like they are, because their business has definitely been very good, they were gonna start seeing profit this month, and unfortunately, the entire month now has been trashed, if not ruined, because of what's going on. So again, just while I was there, of course, all they had was just a few pies out. Obviously, they're not. When you know things aren't going as well as normal, you're not going to obviously put a lot of merchandise out without knowing that it's going to go. But I grabbed 2 slices like I normally would, and I put $10 in the tip jar. Now, it was not because of the sob story. It wasn't because, I should be feeling horrifically bad because things aren't going well. It's just in general, I want them to be there next month. I want them to continue business. And unfortunately to say, a lot of them may run into issues where they just have to close the doors because they may be new, or they're having to pay rent at whatever location they're at, and they can't afford it. So just keep in mind that I know a lot of people want to stay in, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You should. But if there's an option to either get to delivery, or if you would like to go in and just pick something up, take a hand sanitizer with you, whatever you need to do to get past one door and grabbing whatever you obviously ordered. But at least your place, like, I know everybody has them, your favorite pizza place, your favorite Chinese place, your favorite whatever's local to you. Shop local, whatever you want to say, because I do agree with supporting local business. So,
Zalon, you're a good man, bro. Nice shout out. That's why
it's huge, because I think those
that's your community,
and do you want them to be there next month or 2 months from now? Right. So again, I know a lot of people stocked up on a lot of food and everything else, but see it as something that maybe, this next week, maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday night, that's the night that we're going to go and make sure we get this, it also will help supplement your stockpiles as well. So just look at it that way. So, and you're helping somebody out. California governor told me to stay inside. All right, Brain. Well, then have somebody else bring it to you. Let someone else risk their life. Because somebody else will. Food industry is more or less has to continue, at least for the time being. But yeah, I've never seen as much. I've also seen some serious advertisements that Wawa now delivers with 3 different services. Like all the what's it called? Like Grubhub and I think there's like 2 other ones too. I forget what they are though. But like places that you wouldn't assume that has the option for delivery. It's slapped all over every single gas pump. It's all over the doors. So
we'll bring your car to you. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bring your car to you. I'm eating rum cake. Oh, Dee's eating rum cake. Yo, Brain says I'll go to a restaurant if they have toilet paper in the restroom. Apparently, you're not supposed to use the restroom in restaurants because, most restaurants are sit down and they shouldn't even be open. But I heard even at places that are just takeout only and they have a restroom, they're not supposed to really be letting people use it. think because it was, or maybe that's a state to state thing, but for some reason I have heard of people being denied restrooms inside of like a pizza place, for instance, because since it's closed to people dining in, then they're not letting people use the restroom, I guess. Oh yes, Feranic, D is still boozing. That's what it is. Yeah, her sister-in-law is here, so she can't jump on Discord. See, D, what an excuse. Yeah, see, Brain says bring her on, D. We have questions for the ladies. Whenever people say put ladies in the chat, I just feel the necessary need to read it off like the ladies' man. You know?
Well, and you know drums in the background being like, here we go.
Yeah, right? Let's see where we're at. 11:30. 15 watching. Thank you for everybody joining in. As always, 4,600. Still sitting 84th. Let's just see what the gap is to top 50. Wow. That's not too much. But with the way everybody's grinding, though, it's a bit more than normal. If this was a super active event, that's not a big gap, but...
Zalon, I'm on Discord. I can't see. What are you at right now?
Oh, me? I'm at 4,600. So okay. I'm right about... just on the top end of the alliance right now. So 9.
And what do you go for? You go for 8 or 9, or what's the goal?
What for this event? I was thinking about trying to get up to 14. So we'll see.
Oh, okay.
You know, I would like another spearhead. I really would. Yeah. But if I could get to the end, that'd be nice too. But no, I don't know about straight grind. I just don't think that's going to happen now at this point, just because of time restraints. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Brain says we especially have questions for the drunk ladies. Making dinner for Anik? Nice, nice. Oh, one thing to note, after the new... I did mention this on my video, and I don't know if everybody caught this or not, but... Or on the last live stream, because I read the blog post. But I did notice this. The event right after the new Titan comes out, which is going to be the new god that comes out after the Conquest, next Thursday through Sunday. The Monday afterwards is a fusion event. It is a Champions fusion event, which tells me that the new Titan is a champion, because every fusion event that follows an event is always the same class as the Titan in that event. Now,
I hear rumors that it's going to be a poison guy. I don't know.
We'll see, but I believe it's going to be champion. So we'll see. Which... just like Baba Yaga, I feel that champions are a lot easier to level up because of all the different champion food that is available in the game. There's just a decent amount, definitely, in comparison to the other classes. The two hardest classes: number one, Berserkers; number 2, Rangers. But besides from that, you can level up champions really easy: Paladins, Guardians, and Infiltrators. But it's because
friendly reminder to the community: take your 1-stars and make them a 24. Don't just throw them away on a 3 or a 4-star.
You're implying if you're trying to save food?
Well, so you have a bunch of these like champions, like all the 1-stars.
Mm-hmm. Just
level them to 24 to fuse them into like 2 or 3 stars. Don't put your 1-stars into 4-stars. Yeah,
you can see the difference of how much actual. XP you get is a lot different, but there is a little bit of you do lose XP, unfortunately, when you fuse into anything.
Well, yeah. But I mean, yeah.
Well, I meant when you fuse into one thing and you fuse into the next thing, there's XP loss. So,
sure, I guess all I'm trying to say is, you guys, like, put your level 1s to 24s. Don't just put level 1-star nothings into 2 and 3 and 4 stars. You're wasting too much food.
What's up, Rage? So, Zalon, are you going to be doing the new Titan event? Yes. New Titan event, if you're referring to, like, the one where you have to be on an extremely active team and go up against, like, the clan boss. Yeah, most definitely when it comes out. I'm going to treat it like an alpha, though, unfortunately, just due to the way things have been in the past. So I might even slap that alpha label directly on my video, just because I honestly think that the first time it comes out, they're going to say, well, we can change things. We'll fix things if you don't like it. Because Assault is, when it comes out fairly soon, because I believe that is also going to be coming either right before or right after the new event type drops, that hopefully Assault will actually be its actual finished version, which is the third version of the game. Third version of the event, I should say. Where am I going to do the new event for Anik? Most likely Brain. Remember, for the fusion event, save food. There's a food shortage right now. Yes, Brain. Very funny, I guess. I guess. Yeah, they're very original with the event names. But Frantic, back to what you were saying. Where will I do the event? I don't know. I'm thinking what people are gonna be like. I want to be on Extinction's team. I would say, let's see. I don't know. Hopefully either Warhammer. I'll probably mention things pretty early. As soon as I know when it's happening, I'm going to try to get on to a team that's I know is going to be super active in the event, and most likely we'll probably have 2 teams set up to play it with 50 active players that want to do it. Obviously, everybody's going to participate in all their teams, but
where do you
we might try to do something
where do
like
you
that.
Where do you want to finish in this next one?
Which next one? What are you talking about for the new god?
No, Conquest. Where do you?
For Conquest, I'm gonna go all the way and grab Chernobog. That's just because I just want Chernobog for collection, just like I got Belobog.
Okay.
I got Belobog because he's a collector's piece for me. So, and
okay.
Conquest is easy. Conquest is super easy to complete when you have piles of saved relics. The only reason I say that is because I use the relics on 8, 9, and 10, and that's where I fit. That's how I can finish out easily. Is as long as I can free to play grind all the way up to 7, maybe 8, and then just use my use a few event relics and finish it out.
Well, I can hear the excitement in your voice. You're definitely a veteran. Conquest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely for Conquest. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth the time. It's definitely worth the effort. And if it's one Portal Stone, it's going to be the craziest Conquest ever.
Yeah, man. This one Portal Stone thing, just awesome. Oh my gosh. Like Prometheo can do a breakdown, but I mean, saving us so much.
Yeah. And I mean, Conquest was already free as it is, and now it's going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
I was making fun of D because of all the snorting in the last stream. Well, Extinction, that was a little bit of chance. That wasn't so much D.
That's actually not true.
Oh, now you're going to deny it? You did. I don't know.
Okay, I want to be 100% serious right now. I'm offended that anybody would accuse me of that, and
You did it earlier, though. I heard you do it earlier on the stream.
Whoa. Obviously, D chimed in and didn't say hi and snorted and left. That was not me. If Dee's listening, I can't wait for her to chime in. She's going to be so mad.
Dee says she wasn't swear. It wasn't me snorting. I swear.
Yeah. She's all bitter about it. I get it. Honestly, I want her to come on, and just be like, "Hey, man, like I have a problem. Please accept me for who I am."
Yeah.
Because honestly, I love Dee, but the snorting thing, it's got to go.
It's got to go. So. Many portal stones, such activity. Yeah, right. Feranic said earlier, I forget who, if you said it earlier on this stream, but you said something like you can't get through a full refresh. You can't get through your full set of stones before you have to get off playing. So, I mean, sacrifices need to be made, Feranic. Less time in the garden. Oh my gosh. So my boss texted me last night to see if I was working. I responded with a picture of a cold Corona and half a lime in it. Sorry, boss. I got the virus. Nice, Rage. Nice.
That's good.
Guess you got the virus.
The Corona. Yeah.
Let's see. So Baba Yaga's been pretty sweet, but just using three troops every battle, 3 horde troops every battle, and just been taking in the 3 Calvarex relics just because they have all these spells already on them, just for easy, fast raiding.
It frustrates me so much that you use 3 instead of 4. Like, give it 100%. The 75% thing is driving me crazy.
Oh, I only threw 3 on there just because I just felt it necessary to not have as many. But we could do 4.
I mean, yeah.
We could do 4.
I mean,
well, see,
yeah,
typically when I solo with a Titan, I take 1 troop in. I do that all the time. But with Baba Yaga, just because I feel like, that's on most summoners. Most summoners, excluding Bast and Aurea, because they're beasts. But with summoners, you can always go in and solo with them because you're bringing more troops in, and it's pointless to lose all those extra troops.
You know what? That brings a good. I've actually wanted to ask you a personal question about that. Like, do you think that so like stacking your Aurea and your Bast, like who's better for you?
Who's better? Well, my Aurea is better.
Yeah, like
but that's only because of the skill set she got.
Too.
That's the skill set she got, though. It's the skill set she got.
Okay.
Because there's definitely better rolls on Aurea than there is.
What's your Aurea at?
My Aurea has the double. I think it's the double damage, double crit, and then it has the X skilled damage. X skilled damage.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my Aurea is not even that good, but I still think she's better than Bast. I don't know.
Well, I also have the 5-star on both of them. But I have the second generation 5-star on Aurea because that gives Titan damage. So it actually helps her out even more.
Oh. So wait, Night Whisper?
No.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, the second generation one. So that's the what is it? Hold on. The daggers. These.
Oh, right, the Loki one.
The Trickster's Blade. Sorry, the Trickster's Blades does right now at level 8 does 62% Titan damage. So because of that, along with the X skill on the last one, and the X skill is still not even maxed yet. It's still going to go up even higher. I'm at 63,000 damage at 100% crit. So
sure, yeah.
So it's not bad. It's not bad. Definitely nice.
Yeah, that's
but
nice.
That's only because the only reason I do good with both these infiltrators is because my account is more or less set on pulling 5-star infiltrator relics. You know, I have no berserker or champion 5-star relics, and I've never seen one. I have no idea. I mean, I have seen them.
Oh my gosh.
I know what they are, but I've never gotten a berserker or a champion one.
So how many Night Whisperers and the Loki, infiltrator one do you have?
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
So, like you're saying, I've never had a berserker or champion 5-star. So does that mean you have more infiltrator 5-stars?
Yeah. For instance, I have 1 Trickster's Blades, and I have had up to 5 Night Whispers.
What?
5 Night Whispers. I did fuse one away at one point into another Night Whisper. I didn't need 5 Night Whispers.
Wow. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, there's not that many good infiltrators in the game.
I hate you so much. So
but see, other people say that they have 5 Earthshakers, and I'm like, I need some of those, and I hate those people too. No, I don't. I'm kind
of like you. I get the Earthshakers and the infiltrators a lot. I don't get a lot of. I honestly, I don't know really anyone who gets Berserker 5-stars, quite frankly. So.
Well, there's definitely a few people who have told me their account seems to be stuck on Berserkers as well. Do I plan on streaming tomorrow? No, Pisces. I'm probably gonna take the day off because of Monday. Because I plan on streaming on Monday for a long period of time. I will probably take tomorrow off. It also allows people to consume the content, because being that there is a 24-hour period of people that watch all around the world, if I stream within 24 hours, it doesn't give them enough time to watch it, and it's kind of like they'll just skip over it. So it's better to give a little bit of time so people can actually watch and enjoy. That's why sometimes when Godan, this is just the YouTube thing that I've noticed. Sometimes if you watch, when Godan used to put out like 3 or 4 videos in the same day, video 1 will get some action because it's in the morning. 2 and 3 are around like 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, so they don't get as many views, and then the one at the last part of the night gets the most because people watch it all night long. So sometimes when you put all your videos or streams too close together, it just doesn't give people the opportunity to be like Soulja.
Opportunity.
The opportunity. Zalan, if I wasn't about to head down to a sunny beach with white sand and cold beers, I'd jump on and say hi, but alas, the beers are calling. Have a good one later. Have a good one. Have a good one. And that was an incredibly good way of putting it. Thank you.
Yeah, really.
Right? I truly...
Little Shakespearean, yeah.
It's very good. Extinction, no. I am not smoking any crack. Pisces... I have only Infiltrator. Yeah, you only have Infiltrator 5-stars. There you go. 2 Trickster's Blades. Trickster's Blades are nice. Yeah, still not watched all the 14 odd hours of streaming in the last week, right? See? There's a lot of
live streaming.
Yeah, see? There was a lot, more than usual. But see, the thing is though, when it's Zalan's stay-at-home series, you know, you have to consume the content. So we'll do just a little bit more. There's Shark right there in the chat. Let's see where we're at. All right, 4,774.
Like
We'll hit 5,000. We'll set the goal at 5,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
Chance, can you mute? Can you mute, Chance?
Vaguely.
So I like the version of that type. Like, sure.
All right, I'll just mute him. Pisces Shark. Well, I probably won't put Trickster's Blades on Corruptor because he's meant to buff Horde and not himself. Exactly. That's why I put Trickster's Blade on Arya, because I actually want her damage to be higher. Whereas with the Night Whisper, I want the Horde to be, buffed. So that's why I went with certain... I used to have the Night Whisper on Arya, but then I was like, wow, I can really boost her damage if I go the other way around. Hey, Chance, are you there? Can you hear me? No? Yes?
No? Yes?
That's weird. Hello? That's weird. Can you hear me? Wow, it's weird. Everything's echoing back. All right. Put him back on mute. That's never happened before. Wow, I put him on mute, and it shouldn't come back at me like that. Let's see. Yes? No? Yes? All right, it's good. It's working. So let's hit 5,000 souls and wrap it up. Let's see. I would truly hate to get a Bow of the Gods, Shadow Dancer, Axis of War. Bow of the Gods? I don't know. I kind of think Bow of the Gods isn't that bad. I don't know. Plenty of people have talked about how they enjoy the Bow of the Gods. Shadow Dancer, yeah. Axis of War, yeah. I get it. I mean, people used to crap on a lot of different 5-stars, and then some of them have actually risen back to the top because they actually had some more uses. I'm using Sarkhan because he's the only infiltrator I have that will work on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna reload it. Oh, I did. Maybe I should just reload the whole thing. Let's just see what happens. Hello?
The Bow of the Gods. Anybody hear me on that one?
Yeah, no, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, cool. But,
yeah, okay.
do you have Bow of the Gods? Were you saying that?
Right, so, I kind of feel like that's pretty valuable. What's the problem with it, I guess?
Okay, yeah, I would like to know, too. I've got Zeus and Corruptor and Hell. Okay, nice rage. Once I'm done with Sarkhan, I will work on Corruptor. He is at level 40. Nice. Especially for Horde summoning. Corruptor is definitely going to... I don't know. I kind of consider Corruptor to be the second place Tar, just because it's a Horde summoner. I don't know. That's just me. A lot of the Tars all got crapped on all over the place. But if you're going to put them in a number order where Minotaur is the best Tar, what's the second best Tar? So far, in my opinion, it would be Corruptor, just because it's a Horde summoner. Oh, nothing is the problem with those relics. Oh, nothing, Rage? Okay, alright. It was all sarcasm.
I would say that Corruptor is like the new Artemis for anti-void.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, 70% natural void resist. His one relic is 20% more.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, because like everybody, when you're on like VP and you put an Artemis, so like when you see somebody under 10 million on VP, you're like, oh, easy, right? Well, Artemis void resist is not that easy. / you're gonna get destroyed. So Minotaur is kind of like that new guy.
So yeah, it does sound also as well that next week, I don't know if it'll be in the beginning of the week or if it will be later in the week, but I think those Divine Altar changes are happening next week. So be excited, because if you've been saving like I have, you're excited for the Divine Altar changes and hoping that things will be different and that they're going to be better selection-wise. And they did say it's not going to be final. It doesn't say, if you don't like them, and you think, and you hear that other people are not happy with them and things are still just as bad as they have been with the way things are now with the Divine Altars, then don't pull, because they may change them fairly quickly. What I mean by that is within the next month or two. It may come out in the very next update, the 1.3.8 update. They may have slight modification alter changes because of the reason of us saying we hate this and this and this and this, and they'll change it. So again, I'm not saying that every player that's been saving that you should dump instantly. There will be people that will most likely take one for the team, or they will be like myself with a test account and hopefully pulling with a bunch of DGs that I've actually had sitting on there since the SPP program still existed, so I still have that option. So I will do my best to do some pulls and to just see how it is, because obviously I know a lot of people have been saving for a little while now. Sean M says 18,528, so close. 60 portal stones left. Well, you have plenty of time left. You'll definitely make it. I have faith, Sean M. 844. So I'm at 4,844. It's not going to be too long. We'll hit that 5K mark. That's already midnight. But then again,
try harder. Go.
But then again, when you're grinding, time flies. Well, especially if you're having fun. So here, this is where I say, if you are having fun on the live stream, whether you're watching on the TV or not, you know, throw me a like if you're having a good time. I do appreciate it. It does help, as always. Not something I say every video or all the time, and my avid listeners will agree. It is something that periodically will come up. But if somebody who's watching in chat mentions it, I'm not going to not read it, because I do appreciate when people are supportive. All right, let me see. Weird thing was, on this last blog post this week and last week, they didn't even mention anything about the one portal stone change, which I thought was odd on this most recent blog post, because I would have thought they would have said, and if you haven't noticed yet, you know, we've changed it to one portal stone a raid, you know, because most of the other games, it's been a long time I hadn't had to yawn, but anyway, in all the other games that I got like free stuff in, because of the current situation we're in. They actually like, here, we're doing this for you, blah, 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 blah. And it just seems that the Dawn of Titans staff either hasn't had the time to do something like that, to take credit for it, more or less. And it just seems like they just did it, and they're like, here, we're just going to do this. And the players are just going to enjoy it. That's it. We're not going to say anything. You got my like, bro. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for your contribution to the game. Cheers. Oh, no problem, Lawrence. Thank you for always having a lot of kind words to say and enjoying the content, because I do this for the community. I also do this because I enjoy having fun with the community as well. Better experience all around. Right. See how far did I get Baba Yaga up to? So 40. Okay, nice. I know it was 38 when I started, so definitely good progress on that. And Dee went back, and on her birthday stream that I just did for her, if you didn't get an opportunity to hear me sing to her, because she got me to sing to her, she time-stamped it, which was great. And then she also time-stamped, I think, where she explains her her quarantinis.
Oh, man, that song, Zalon, it was beautiful. I wept. That was beautiful. Thank you for
I'm
letting
sure
us all experience your singing abilities.
Yes, which are not that great, but I do my best.
Yeah.
So here's another thing that I think is actually kind of nuts, is when I was explaining to my my boss, who is in his late 60s, and the whole being a streamer. When I told him, I was like, yeah, so every Friday night I live stream on YouTube, and he's like, well, so what do you do? Because he likes to listen to talk radio. He's a big talk radio fan, so. I'm like, well, when I get on and I live stream, it's kind of like this, where people come on and they join and we have discussions and there's like a live chat and like it's an interesting interaction. And he's like, so what do you talk about? I'm like, well, I talk about the game. I talk about life. I talk about anything that people brings up in the actual chat itself. And I'm just like, because a lot of there's a tentative, like, for instance, if I'm doing like a blog post rundown like I did the last live stream, or if there's like or like the event starts or something like that, the stream where that's all going down, I like to talk about what's in it and everything else, but for the most part, I kind of wing it most of the time. And when I
Stop it! You're 80% winging it.
Most of the time. When I make a video, I'm not. There's only there's like 80% structure and 20% winging it, because that's a completely different setup. But live streaming, it's definitely like no script or anything usually. So I think about it sometimes. Like I've listened to some other, not just DOT YouTubers, but other YouTubers in general, and for live streams, people can't keep a constant, like, they're not talking the whole time, And it's interesting because I find it odd that when I listen back to my live stream, I'm like, man, there's only very few times where I'm actually, that there's just complete silence on the stream. Now, only especially when things are getting later on the stream and I'm getting beat tired, then there might be some gaps here and there. But for the most part,
no, dude, it's usually in the first 30 minutes to the first hour where you're a little bit like
when I'm by myself,
you don't have anybody to talk to.
Yeah. Okay, true. Well, sometimes
it's not really the end. The end, everybody's like, "Oh, hey, now I feel comfortable because I've heard you guys talking for 45 minutes."
Yeah. Well, yeah, but there's definitely times though too. Sometimes when I'm getting beat at the end, that I feel like I may not be talking as much, and I might. But it's crazy. It's crazy to listen back and be like, holy crap, I was able to talk that entire time, and it seemed like I actually had a lot of things to talk about, and it seemed like if I would have actually structured it, like actually wrote down all the different things I talked about, I would have never thought all of those ideas up ahead of time. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I'm just like, man.
You got Ice jumping in. You got Ice jumping in. You got the Trucker. You got D. You got Chance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just
and a lot of people bring a lot of things. A lot of people bring a lot of things to the table. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, if it's toilet paper or bidets, or I mean, it's just it's never you can't structure that.
Yeah, it could be anything. And you know what's funny too? if I would go back, and again, this is something I keep on saying I'd love to do, but if I would go back and like pick out certain highlights of different time periods of my live streams, like for instance, I could do like the fall of 2017, where in those live streams, like there was these people that would join me on Discord, like the age of Sergion, you know what I mean? Like players that would join on Discord and people knew who they were and everything else. And now at this point, nobody ever sees any sign of them ever again. Like this could be the age of Chance right now, Chance and Ice. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's just a simple.
Like 6 months from now, everybody's gonna be like, "Who's Vintage?" You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's very true. He does come on the video. He does come on Discord periodically, but a lot of times he'll just be joining in chat. But it is true. Yeah. People do. I'm not going to say fade away because a lot of people that are still playing will remember them. But anybody who's new is only associating with the people they know now. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of old timers on my league who just do not participate in social media anymore. I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, just the godfathers of the game, because I'm on beta, so they're kind of like retired, just hanging out.
Yes. Hanging out with their investments. Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's better than abandoning your investments. People don't like to do that. So, and investments don't always mean financial. A lot of times, the time is a lot of times factored into the investment idea. So that people are like, I spent this much time and this much money, so it's worth this much in my opinion, which means I'm not gonna just abandon it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the drum of D. That's the Vintage. Like, there's so much sentiment that goes into like building. I mean, you're creating. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, you can't really just walk away from it.
Yeah, and it's digital. It's digital content, but at the same time, it's some people will hold it in a higher class in comparison to a game they purchased and spent time on playing. Because if you,
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's your escape. Like that's your little fantasy world. Like you dominate, and you were the best. And yeah, I mean, those kind of people, I mean, they're so competitive and analytical that they can't walk away from that because it's like, oh man,
yeah,
like, I spent all my time and energy into that.
Exactly, and also too, especially if you rode the wave of meta, a lot of times backing off and just here's a surfer reference, but I'm never a surfer. But instead of backing off and just kind of like paddling and just watching the waves go in and watching other people enjoy, instead of doing that, they tend to just try to get back up there and just jump back on the wave again. And it's the tendency of not wanting
a lot
to.
Of these, And like, if you think about it, like, I mean, like, think about like, I mean, like the vintages, right? Like the guys who have all level 60s, all the relics, they have all the tools, and then this new thing comes out, and they're like, "Oh, that's offensive to me." Well, they're giving like the newer guys an opportunity to even be in your league.
Did you use the magic word? Use the magic word.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you hate Horde.
No. You said the magic word. You said it gives them the opportunity.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and you know, and like that's frustrating. I get it because, like, hey, man, you're king of the mountain for the last 2 years, but like, dude, there is no hope to be in your league without Horde. Like, I sacrificed I fused so many 40s and 50 level old school Titans that I thought were important as I came up the last years into Void. And then he's like, well, no, I'm just going to protest because now I have competition. It's like, dude, your life isn't that bad. You still have, like, a whole arsenal. I mean, and by the way, oh my gosh, and by the way, you actually, even though you complain about it, have a level 60 Osiris. You have a level 60 Bast. You know what I mean? Like, you're actually, like, I'm sure, I know Vintage still plays the game.
Yeah, and actually, he said he hasn't logged in since December.
Oh,
or like January, something like that. We're almost there.
I would believe January, but like
8 more battles.
He has like level 60 voids, but like it's just, I don't know. It's offensive to him that like, oh, like, and I grew up on his videos, man. Don't get me wrong, but like,
I like how you said I grew up on his videos. That's a good way of putting it.
For sure.
Continue.
Like, yeah, man. Like, no, like, I mean, I literally fused away a Hades level 50. Who's a strictly offensive guy for a Void or an Aurea or somebody because he was like, oh, that's so yesterday.
Now did
you know what I mean?
Did you ever watch Did you ever watch any DBR?
No.
Okay. He was
What's DBR?
DBR was Drive By Reviews. He was in 2017. Making videos in like in the spring and summer of 2017, and he was who I watched DBR. This is before I made videos. I watched DBR. I watched APOC. I watched Nick. And they were the ones that got me into making videos because I wanted to do live streams like APOC. APOC had some real good live streams. And put on a really good, entertaining. Even though he wasn't really that great at the game, it didn't matter. He was really bad, though.
Okay.
I mean, I don't claim to be at all any kind of master of this game. The only thing I do hold a little claim to is I try to pay attention to the trends. I try to pay attention to what they've done in the past, and try to pay attention to to what else other games are doing in mobile, so that I can kind of get a grip. When they put information out like they did in that blog post, and I was kind of like just interpreting it. It's just paying attention. That's all it is, and trying to connect pieces. And a lot of times, with games like these, it's there's only certain ways they can even go with things. So anyway, but it's a lot of fun for me. I enjoy that.
I mean that's why we're addicted to it, is because it's evolving, it's different. Like, yeah, I mean it's chess on a very grand scale. So, but yeah, I mean at the end of the day, like, yes, thank you for highlighting it. I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah, like I'm where I am today because I got into it. And a couple of years into it, like, they created something for me to be able to compete on the big league scale. Like,
and do you know who the demographic of the entire game is? The demographic for the entire game is between the ages of 25 and 55. And
when you faded out there, what was the demographic age?
The demographic age of Dawn of Titans is 25 to 55. That is typically the age range of the players of the game in general. The only reason I know this is because after doing this YouTube thing for over 2 years now, because I check my stats at least once a day.
Your analytics.
And my analytics on there shows me that I have the main demographics between 25 and 35 is the main. 35 and 45 is my second largest group, and then 45 to 55 is my third, and then fourth comes like under 25 basically, and it's a very small percentage under 20. It's a very small percentage under 25. I want to say something like 8 or 9%. So it's crazy how that works out, because it's not just the fact that it's that age group that enjoys and can understand, and and that's why the community, I believe, is so close in comparison to other games, because the people of that age range are typically very busy, and that's why this mobile game is a great escape or hobby that you have that you can enjoy.
Well, it starts out, it's like, hey, how do I kill time at work? And then like a couple lunch breaks into it, 6 months later, you're like super addicted to Dawn of Titans.
Yeah, true.
What are these tournaments about? What are these events about? Yeah.
Oh, Rage! It might be higher than 8%. It might be like 11 or 12, but still, it's the lower group. And actually, it might be 12%. It might be 8% below 18. It might be that. I might be misquoting that. But anyway, one way or another, if you're under the age of 18, you're highly going to just play this game for under probably 3 months, and that's it. You're done deal. And it's because progression after about 3, maybe 4 months, depending on how much time you play in the game, but progression goes from, oh my gosh, I'm leveling up so fast, to it takes 4 days per troop. And then they have no clue what it's, and then they hear the horror stories from the other players that they go, oh, you're complaining about 4 days? Well, my troops, it takes 3 weeks, and as soon as people start hearing that, they scare all these kids off, because they're like, no, we can't play this game anymore. And 23 is fine, Rage. That also means that you're either just out of college or just finishing college soon, if you went to college, because some people go directly to technical schools or directly to workforce.
Right. So on the opposite spectrum of that, I literally am holding myself back from leveling up to 24, because I need to get my Titans and my relics more up to par, if you will. Mm-hmm. And so, like, that's funny you say that, because, like, I can't level up fast enough. And now it's like, oh, my gosh, I need to get ready for level 24 and 25.
True. Well, I hear what Lawrence Wick says, start that age range about mid-60s. Mid-60s is still fine, Lawrence Wick. It's just the fact that anything above, I would say 70, is highly unlikely, just because the fact that smartphones scare those people. So... It's just the simple fact that I just don't think that many people over the age of 70 that have a smartphone. There is plenty that do. There are plenty of people now at this point. We have full 100% saturation of age range at this point for smartphones. And so, yes, there's plenty of people that do have them, but they're not playing mobile games. And if they are, they're playing gambling style, like where they're literally just playing slots. Yeah. They're playing those slot games, which is stupid. I find that to be very boring. But anyway.
Well, you're not 70, so yeah.
Yeah, and also maybe they're playing a few of those puzzle games. Believe it or not, those puzzle games make a lot of money. A lot of money.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane. Actually, right now, those puzzle games, just like Dawn of Titans, are probably giving away free stuff to those old people. They're probably getting hooked up. They're probably getting hooked up because they know their demographic. They know those puzzle games. They're like, we're popular to young kids and to super old people.
Yeah, you're right. Oh
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's why we all play Dawn of Titans, because we want something more than puzzle games. We want something more.
I mean,
we want something. We want something where we have troops, where we're the commander, we're in charge. You know, and you have to figure out what's the best way that you can equip your Titan, that you can figure out which is the best troop combination. Spells, yeah, and I think that's the one reason why they're trying to make spells more of part of the game, is because
it spells. It spells now, but like the point, what you're saying, the thesis is that this is chess on acid. Like, we grew up on chess. We grew up like physically interacting with people, and now we have the ability to play people around the world. And there's 6 different elements. There's a lot of different versions of abilities. So, you know, I mean, it's very advanced chess.
And it looks cool.
Yeah, the art department's never gonna.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that everybody agrees on, everybody, if you're here and you love Dawn of Titans, you know what I mean? If you're here and you love Dawn of Titans, you love the art, okay? It looks gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, looks slick, yep.
You know? So...
Well, yeah, the Panthers punch ants, but oh my gosh, it looks so cool.
Yeah, it does. So... Most definitely, and I'm sure everybody right now just took a quick glance up on the screen just to look at this. I paid attention to my own game right there. I was like, yeah, it does look cool, you know, just affirming to myself how awesome it looks, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's you know, a benefit and a struggle, because it's like, well, like, oh, she looks so pretty, but. Yeah, it's worthless.
Yeah. There's definitely that, and there's like, and the players that like to stay on the top of the meta, or the players just in general that only have a few Titans that they really concentrated on, see these Titans that are coming out, and if they're not interested, they say, "Well, they look cool, but I'm not gonna do it." You know. So.
Dude, you know what's so annoying about that is, like, okay, so I'm in beta, and like when there's like a huge, so like the last tournament for Baba Yaga. There were 10 players that jumped out of Champions and, like, Masters. And I was like, what? Like, you literally, like, I never see you. Like, I haven't seen you in 6 months. Like, I just don't understand. And then they're just like, oh, like, the Pigsy or the Baba Yaga. And they just show up. And they're like, okay, I'll put up 50K. I'm like, what? It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird. Like if you just capture upon like the main offensive Apex guy or defense Apex guy, like.
Now, Chance, I just want to mention this to you, because the only reason at DOT community, I don't know if you paid attention to this or not, but I think just because we rip on Soldier for saying such things as, you know, opportunity, one thing I've noticed, Chance, while you've been on last time and this time, is that when you do want to tell a story, which is totally fine, I enjoy the stories thoroughly and it's great. You start with I'm in beta, and I'm like, you know, he said that a lot. I know it. I know you're in beta, so I almost feel like
compete against them.
I know. But see, it's just I just noticed. I'm like, man, it's totally cool. It's totally cool. But I almost feel like one of your call things, at least at this point right now, is, hi, I'm Chance.
No, dude,
I'm from beta. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, okay. No, but like, it's because it's such a love-hate. Like, I appreciate like getting level 40 Titans on tournament.
Of course. Like, yes.
Just like, I don't know. Like,
I know. But see, the other thing is too, you use that the way you say I'm in beta, sometimes you say it happily because what the next thing that you're going to say is actually a great bonus, or like you just used it, you're like, I'm in beta, and it kind of like it went down a little bit because you're like, well,
disclaimer.
So it's true. So when you say it is a love-hate, it is exactly true, exactly as you said.
The best, but
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. I just had to mention it just because I thought, man, I wonder if anybody else is catching this. I wonder.
Yeah,
Let's see,
you
but
probably-
we all use certain things. I do too. Because when I used to be working on a sales floor selling computers and selling technology and stuff to people and everything else, I realized that after doing it a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen times in a few days, that there's certain things that I would say over and over again the same way, and I'm like, those are, and then people would come up to me and they would pick, they'd be like, so and they'd be like, this, and they'd say it exactly the same way I did, and I'd be like, man, they're right. I say that same thing every time, you know?
Yeah, man. Well, and yeah.
I do it too.
Well,
I do it too.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I do it too, but it's
like, you're like, it's actually comforting to me when I open up a Zalon YouTube thing or a Zalon whatever thing, and it's like, hey.
Right. Oh yeah. I do that same line at the beginning of every time. And I started, after I did it a few times, I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep doing this because I actually like doing it.
Well, and like women, okay, this might be so like, okay, I'm actually not going to go into women, but men will the more, if they are isolated amongst each other, they kind of reproduce their grammatical structures. And like, so I speak like Chinese, Japanese, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And but like, it's really noticeable, like especially Americans who speak one language, they always kind of like go into a thing. They always have like their way of talking. And yeah, like women, like needless to say, like if they're isolated amongst themselves, their singles, their cycles will sync up together. Like I wish D and Val were here right now, but like they can confirm. But no, for men, yeah, I mean, yeah, we all get comfortable in a bit of a grammatical structure. Like we don't really expand after like high school. We're just, that's how we talk.
Well, I've noticed though things do change. There are some changes. There are new words that are introduced that all of a sudden I hear them used by people in all sorts of different, like for instance, like John Oliver on Last Week Tonight, or other nighttime comedy shows. Or anytime you hear the people will start to use certain words and you're just like, holy crap, this is just a word that everybody's using now. And it's just something that people are saying, and it's something right now. But because there's certain times that people would say, there's cool and groovy, and then there's also words like, that's choice. I mean, my boss uses that, and again, he's late 60s.
Yikes.
And when he says that's choice, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like choice what? Like choice beef? Like,
or like low key, high key. That's a thing now. But like, yeah, like everybody. And what it is so okay. So I speak a lot of languages, but like it's really easy to learn languages because everybody says the same stuff. You just have to learn how to say it in that, you have to learn the vocabulary.
Oh, well, but there's the thing is, though, like, working with Hispanic workers, real quick, working with Hispanic workers, a lot of times I'll not understand anything until they say some sort of noun. Because it'll have, like, blah, 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 Mitsubishi, and it's like, oh, I understood that, you know what I mean? Like,
crushed it, yeah, figured it out. Yeah, well, and there's yeah, and there's always something in there, but yeah, I mean, people just always talk about the same stuff, and yeah, I mean, and what it is people get so lethargic with their, now everybody's gonna say lethargic for the next 3 days. I'm done with Titans, but everybody gets so lackadaisical with their vernacular. And so, like, when a cool word pops up that they learned when they were in 9th grade, they're like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. I'm going to use that more.
Lawrence Wick says, I agree with Chance. That's what makes this game so fun. The strategy, and it's a chess game. Churro wants to know, Chance, how many languages do you speak?
Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, English,
And that's
a little Russian. I would say 4.5.
That's a major part of your job too, correct? Knowing all those languages.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm fluent in Mandarin. That led to Japanese, and yeah, I was a traveling salesman for most of my life.
Oh wow. Single serving friend. Oh, Fight Club now. Single serving friends. Single serving this. Single serving this. I always just remember all the flights and being a traveling person from from Fight Club.
All the flights and what?
I'm just referring to Fight Club. I don't know. Just thought about it.
Oh, fights. I thought you said flights. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I am actually a martial artist though too.
That's cool.
Random.
Most definitely. All right, so this is going to be my last battle. We're going to wrap it up here. I do appreciate everybody that joined me in Discord, which would be Ice and Chance, who was here almost the entire time, so it's totally awesome. Appreciate it. Pretty much co-hosted the night with me, so I hope you had a great time.
Dude, Ice needs to join us on D and Ice and Jim on Conquest Monday. Oh, that would be so great.
We'll see what happens. I don't know exactly what time it'll be on Monday. It may be a daytime stream. I know that the UK and Irish, that's for Gary, and also the crowd over in Europe enjoys when I do daytime streams. So we might do that for Monday. We'll see what happens. Of course, this has been a production of the Zalan stay-at-home series. Listen to Kobar, wash your hands. That is something I will say every video, unlike saying like and subscribe. But I will, as long as it's part of the Zalan stay-at-home series. So, all right.
So I'm gonna jump in here and talk over you.
All right, go ahead.
Everybody who thinks that they're too shy to jump on the Zalan stream, just jump on. Just jump on. I mean, come on. It's
See?
not a big deal.
There we go. We have another one. I feel like this is a thing like when you go into a restaurant and you eat like the sandwich that's like super huge and they get your picture on the wall. I feel like this is a moment where we put your picture on the digital wall, Chance. It's like he's done it. He's completed the Zalan challenge. He's done 2 live streams, and now he's completely comfortable and everything's fine. You know?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I may swear like a sailor during the day. I may, but I don't. But I could if I wanted to, because I definitely worked on plenty of construction sites. And so, because I was a painter as well. That's another hobby.
Oh.
That's another hobby.
Wow,
Chalk it up, Pisces. Okay. Chalk it up. Anyway.
Pisces, where's the list? Email it out to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So now that that's said, everybody has to come out on Monday.
Yeah. See, Chance, you're now not going to become the poster child.
Well, I'll wave your banner all day, bro. But,
all right.
Hey, good night and
all right. Thank
good
you,
time.
Chance.
Thank you much.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
I have to take Chance's advice. Maybe I'll hop on one of these days, Zalan. There you go, Churro. See? Sorry, I just did another battle on accident. It just happened. I just did it. My finger just did exactly what it's been doing for the last so many hours. Here we go. Last battle, promise. Bonus battle. Bonus. This is where encore.
4-star. Let's go.
Yeah, 4-star.
4-star.
There we go. All right, here we go. We're finished. And let's see where the soul count was. 5,194. Very nice. And
you started with 2,000, right?
I started with 3,700. So I wanted to get to at least 5, at least right now. But after a little bit, I'll hopefully be able to play a little bit more tonight. So see what happens. So I'll see you all again on Monday, unless other people are streaming tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. All right, DOT community. I'll talk to you all again very soon.